Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Jets Radio, where we will try to make you sane while we go insane, because this team is the most dysfunctional team in all of the NFL. What a good time to be alive. What a good time to be a Jets fan. What a good time to Let's Talk Jets. Because I cannot wait to talk Jets tonight, because this is going to be great. I'm so happy to discuss this team. So let me introduce the man of the people, Adam Gase's biggest supporter, where he knows that Gase has a plan, because all we do is rebuild. We lead the league in rebuilding because we have a man with a plan. Doesn't know what it is, probably can't execute it, but we got a plan. Long Beach Joe. This show is going to be complete chaos. I'm going to break every show rule we have. I guarantee we will lose credentials. We will lose fans. Support. I really don't care. I don't care if we lose listeners. I don't care if we lose our advertisers. I don't care. Do not care anymore. Zero filter, zero care.
Look. I'm not Adam Gase's big supporter. Everyone knows how I feel about Adam Gase. I've called him a fraud multiple times. I didn't like when we hired him. I think what we're seeing is a lot of what we've seen in the past when you deal with, a situation where you have Gase as your head coach. You start to see the circus atmosphere come around and come about. And we'll continue to, we're going to talk about this during the show, because I think we're seeing some of the things that we saw in Miami. We're seeing some of these things start to happen here. So it's going to be a wild ride. I can't wait to talk to everyone. But listen, hold this before, and I know you're going to go off, Ty. I know you're going to go off. I know I'm going to go off. But listeners, I'm going to need y'all to settle down, all right? If Ty can't curse, you can't curse. I'm just putting that out there, all right? We got, we got to keep the support that we have. So no cursing, people. I love the people. I stand for y'all. But, come on now. A curse word will get you out of here real quick, all right? I just want to put that out there. If Ty can't curse, you can't curse, all right? Now on YouTube, he do his own thing, okay? We can't shut him down there. We just tried, okay? But here we got to slow it down. So listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote our Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search Let's Talk Jets Radio. Like that page. Our content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message us. We'll message you right back. We love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave us some feedback. We love hearing about what you folks think we do here on Let's Talk Jets Radio. So without further ado, Ty, let's go ahead and get into the show, man. I'm fired up.
I'm not fired up. I'm fed up. I am completely fed up. But what we'll do is we'll go to Instagram and Twitter. We're at Talk Jets Radio on Instagram and Twitter. I appreciate everybody. Our Twitter account today was complete chaos. We're also on YouTube. So if you want to know what I really think about this team, unfiltered, go to Let's Talk Jets Radio on YouTube. I made it about an hour ago, unfiltered. Don't have your kids in the car. Boy. Shut the door. Don't let your wife hear it. I mean, this isn't for the family. This is just me and you talking some Jets football with no filters. Let's Talk Jets Radio on YouTube.
Go into the bunker.
Sit back and enjoy. Yeah, I don't give a rat's ass.
Go into the bunker. Close the door, because that was
Yeah.
Whoa. Go ahead.
So Joe. So here we go. Now we have the thing is the Jets. They made us forget about their pathetic performance on Sunday. With a pathetic performance today with the trade deadline. So they outdo themselves. Like, just when you think they're incompetent, they say, no, we can outdo ourselves and make things actually worse. They're not happy just sucking. They want to really suck. They're not happy just being embarrassed. They want the embarrassment to be league-wide, player-wide. They want to make sure everybody knows we're a clown show. And they're successful. They've done it. They've accomplished it. Adam Gase has done it. Joe Douglas has done it. Chris Johnson has done it. We are the circus. We are back. We are selling tickets to it. $5 a ticket and you get a free T-shirt. We are back. And I guess the one positive, we'll start with positive news, is they traded Leonard Williams and they got value for him. That was a good trade. We've talked about this for months, that you're not going to re-sign him. He's not worth the money. He's not the impact player we hoped for. They got him to the Giants, and a deal with the compensation was fair. I mean, I'll give the Jets credit for that.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I was shocked. me myself. I was shocked we got a third, and I was shocked we would get a fifth, which honestly is probably going to turn into a fourth, because if you trade him for him, you're probably going to extend him. That's what I'm guessing. I mean, there's been some spotty stuff going over there with the Giants, but I would guess that they would, make sure that he gets a deal, make sure a deal's in place, and we get the fourth. Getting a third and fourth round pick for him, and, Leonard Williams he's not trash. He's just not what we needed. He's not what we hoped that he would have been. If we would have drafted Leonard Williams in the second or third round, something like that, and he would have just done these things, we would have been okay with, his production. We've been okay with him fighting. But the fact that we took him so high in the draft, we took him a sixth pick, best overall player, we thought, we were getting a guy that was going to make impact after impact after impact play immediately, consistently throughout his career, and we wouldn't even have to worry about that. And that's not what we saw. We saw flashes the rookie year, and then after that, it was just like pretty much invisible for the last 2 to 3 years. So moving on from him, I think this is a great trade by Douglas, getting a third back. And like I said, getting that potential fourth back as well. It's a good move for me. So I like how we handled it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he's a good player. He's just not a great player. He's not a $14 million a year player. So his time has come, and he had to go, and he did, and good job there. So, Joe, do you want to talk about the game, or do you want to talk about today? I'll give you the creative freedom to decide what we talk about.
Man, I feel like let's talk about today. Let's talk about today, and then we'll talk about the game and everyone else.
So let's talk about today, Joe. Now, the first question I have is, the one thing when they hired Adam Gase and Joe Douglas, everybody told me this culture is going to change. We're going to have so much more accountability. The leaks are going to be gone. Lo and behold, the trade deadline comes today, and we have more leaks than the Titanic. Everywhere you look, the Jets are negotiating, the Jets are shopping guys. No other team had this problem other than the Cleveland Browns. Nobody else was talking players but the Jets. We had more leaks, so there's stories all over the place, which is your first problem. The second problem is now you have – there's about 10 problems, but we'll just go one by one here. The second problem you have is it's so hard to curse, man. This is ridiculous.
Come on now.
The way this team handles things is mind-numbing. Now, Joe Douglas completely mishandled Assembly with the MRIs, and they completely blew that. And whoever wants to take responsibility for it, wonderful. To have this many leaks today and all this stuff happen, and then to come out and say, hey, you know what? We just took the calls and discussed things. Come on, man. You're now alienating players. This locker room is going to be a disaster. And it's just, Joe, it's remarkable that it got this far. And the one player that it's shocking about, it's about Jamal Adams. It's no secret Jamal Adams is unhappy. He's tired of losing. He's frustrated, everything else. He's also the heartbeat of the team. He's the pulse of the team. He's the face of the team. He's a fan favorite. And you have him in a win like this where you're obviously negotiating. You lie about it. Adam Gase had the balls in his press conference act like, no, that wasn't me, man. I didn't know anything about it. Adam Gase is doing the same thing he did in Miami. Not me. It wasn't my fault. I'm not part of that. That's all Joe Douglas. He put Joe Douglas under the bus so friggin' fast. Dude, he was driving the goddamn bus. Adam Gase not me, man. I know nothing about it. Do you think anybody believes that? Does he think we're stupid? And then Joe Douglas is why just answer the phone, man? Dude, this team is a clown show. They don't know their ass from their elbow. They really don't. They don't even know how to lie right. They think we're stupid. And now you have a locker room that while they're listen, Le'Veon Bell put out a great video. Robbie Anderson put out a great video, and Jamal Adams called him out. So listen, you're shopping behind my back. Dude, there is no way in living hell that this Jets organization, from a free agent perspective, looks good. And the reason why I know that, about 5 people told me, including Joel Corey, a former agent. He told me, he said, listen, the Assembly thing's a disaster. This is even worse, Joe. They look like clowns.
Yeah. Yeah, it's to me, it's just mind-boggling. This situation. You shop at these guys, like you said, and then they people are coming around and you're acting like you don't know what people are talking about. I was completely shocked that they would even be looking to move or even talking to anyone about Le'Veon Bell, because he's the only elite weapon we have on our offense. That's it.
You know who that is, Joe, right? You know who it is, right?
Well,
you know who it is.
No. I know exactly who it is. It's Gase. Of course that's Gase. And to be honest,
it's the second time now.
We heard we heard reports, we heard rumors from the very beginning that he did not want Le'Veon Bell here. He did not want him. That's not the guy he wanted. And what blows my mind, like I said, is that, if we're shopping Le'Veon Bell, what are we shopping him for? This is one of the best backs of the era. So now we're shopping him because you're incompetent, offensive-minded guru, the genius that everybody says, Adam Gase. So we're shopping Le'Veon Bell because Adam Gase can't figure out how to use him correctly. You gave him 9 carries against the Jags. He had 12 touches overall. It's like that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. If you're trading Le'Veon Bell, or even if you're talking about trading Le'Veon Bell, you're basically saying, I don't care about Sam Darnold. That's literally what you're saying, because you're taking away a weapon. You're taking away an elite guy for him to get the ball to. You're taking away something that the defense has to focus on. You're taking away his ability to be able to make a play as a QB. We're already seeing the struggles. Hell, Le'Veon helps in every single facet of the game. Now, he's not just a guy you can hand the ball to. He's also a guy that catches the ball. Some people argue he might be our best receiver. Then on top of that, not only is he a good receiver, not only is he a good runner, but he's also one hell of a blocker. So now you're taking away the ability to keep Sam protected. But, I mean, hell, you don't do that no way, do you, Adam Gase? You run empty when guys are sending 0 blitzes. You take Le'Veon out the game half the damn time, so none of that matters whatsoever. So I was just blown away by that. That fact that we were even talking about.
It's Adam Gase, dude. This
Le'Veon.
Is Adam Gase. He has a mess and doesn't know what to do. He has a mess, dude. He doesn't know how to get out of it now. Now he's like, I got to start finding scapegoats. I got to find ways to justify my losing and ways to fix it. And he can't. He's incompetent.
This is classic Adam. Listen, this is classic Adam Gase, Tyson. This is classic Adam Gase. Like you said, find a scapegoat. You see the production offensively is awful. I got to blame somebody. I'll just blame the players. So if we get smacked by Miami, I'm just going to try to get all these guys out of here because, hey, those were the guys that were the problem, not my offensive game plan. None of the other issues that I have.
He's justifying losing. This is my biggest problem. I got to get this out of my chest, dude. I'm going insane. The biggest problem I had out of today with Joe Douglas and Adam Gase is they've accepted losing. They've accepted it and justified it. Like the Luke Falk games were justified losses. Adam Gase didn't coach to win. They didn't win, and they're okay with it. They're okay with losing. It's a mindset now. And now it's like, you know what? We're going to lose. We're going to lose a lot. So let's find ways to just justify it by let's try to rebuild some things. So we're going to try to get whatever assets we have and trade them away. Okay, but dude, they're justifying. Like he's like mailing in the season, and he's justifying.
Yeah.
It. And now they blew these trades, which is going to screw the locker room up even more. And Joe, I want to know how much power Joe Douglas has. I really do. I want to know because right now my biggest fear right now is the New York Jets are giving Adam Gase way too much power. He's going to blow up this entire mess for them only to find out they have to fire him.
Tyson,
it's going to be the same thing we did with McCagnon. It's almost the same with McCagnon, though, Joe. But dude, they did with McCagnon. Let McCagnon spend all that money and they fire him. They're going to let Adam Gase do all this and they're going to fire him. This team is going backwards, completely backwards.
Yeah. Dude, but he had way too much power walking in the door. This guy got the same general manager that hired him. He got him fired, a couple months after he got hired? He had way too much power coming here. He has the Johnson's ear. This is what I warned y'all about, dude. I warned everybody about Adam Gase. I told y'all about him and how he maneuvers and how he does things. Completely ridiculous. But one thing I wanted to talk about, we could talk about this, the Le'Veon Bell stuff. I mean, the Adam stuff is, this guy literally came out and said, look, you were shopping me, period. I don't care. Clearly he would know that. If his agent is telling him they shopped you to teams after you came and told them that you still wanted to be here, he stepped up and said something. But for me is, how does the locker room handle this? Because, again, I keep warning you. I warned y'all about Adam Gase and his handling with players in that locker room and how his presence and how his toxicity will rub off into a locker room and completely fracture a team. You got guys walking around here that know that they were on the trading block or know that they were, getting ready to be gone. How do you think that they feel? Especially you look at a guy like Adam. Do you think Adams, who's already pissed off, everybody's already pissed off, we're losing a whole bunch of games, do you think that he's not going to be upset about also being shopped too? He's also being shopped. Here's one of the heartbeats of the defense, the guy that gives it all, always says the right thing. Dude, he could be completely destroying people in the media if he really wanted to. Because the mics and the cameras are on him after every single game. Every one. He could be talking about how the offense is trash. He could be sitting there talking about how the offensive game plans are trash and we're losing because they don't put up points. He could be doing all of that stuff. He's not doing any of that. Here's a guy that's
it's going to start though.
Talking about being a Jet.
It's all going to start though.
It might, but again, look at how this reverberates to the locker room. You got other guys in there as well that are putting on. Think about other guys on the defense that see Jamal day in and day out doing what he does for the team. How do you think they feel about a trade like this? Like you said, start a mail in the season. You got guys that are still in there fighting, and you're going to get rid of Jamal Adams? You talking about trading Le'Veon Bell? Come on, man. And then on top of it, you got the KO situation as well. About how do you think players feel about what's happening to KO? Hell, half of them came out and talked about it. They told KO went to the media and said, hey, I got teammates I talked to about my situation. They said it's BS. So you got all these things brewing, just constantly brewing in the locker room, and now you add in this nonsense. I'm telling you, Adam Gase, this is who he is. Everywhere it's been a toxic situation. When he's been a head coach, he figured out how to fracture a locker room immediately. We fracture a locker room here, you're talking about done, it'll be done. You'll have to get rid of everybody. You're going to see done
because, listen, dude, they quit. They didn't show up against the Jaguars. They didn't show up. And that is the most telling thing when you have a team where it's like, all right, you know what? You got yourself embarrassed on Monday Night Football. Let's see what kind of fire and brimstone you come out with. They came out flatter than a pancake with not a care in the world, a lifeless bunch of teammates where they're like, you know what? It's time for us to collect checks and look towards next year. And it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
This is only going to get worse. I wouldn't be surprised. And the thing is, if Adam Gase was a guy you believed in or an organization you believed in, you'd be like, you know, let's play hard for our coach. Well, now they're backstabbing you. They look like clowns. You can't trust them. And now what? They're going to quit, dude. You're going to have a bunch of guys finger-pointing, quitting, and it's just a matter of nonsense. So it's just – and now it's like, oh, well, Joe Douglas said this. And Joe – dude, it's obvious. Read between the lines, man. Look how this looks.
Yep. But it goes higher than this, too, because we need to talk about the Johnsons and their role in this as well. You had no business hiring Adam Gase.
Absolutely useless. They have no idea what they're doing. You had no business hiring Adam Gase. You had no business doing that. And you're allowing this guy to do what he does on the field. I watched that video of Chris Johnson, and he said, well, I hope the team shows up. If you have to say something like that as an owner, I hope the team shows up, and you don't get rid of the guy that makes you say stuff like that, you should go into every single game knowing that your team is going to fight hard for whoever you put in, whoever is the head coach there. You should know that. You're sitting there watching this team week in and week out getting their ass kicked, and you just sitting there. You're not going to make a move. You're not going to get rid of a guy that's ruining their young QB. That's mind blowing. Dude, the most important player on this team is not Jamal Adams. It's not Le'Veon Bell. It's not Robbie Anderson. It's Sam Darnold. Your franchise quarterback is getting the hell beat out of him. So it's like, dude, you're sitting here looking at him. He has his thumbs in a cast. He's got his toenail ripped off. His jersey's covered in mud. He's getting just the brains beat out of him. And you're like, yeah, you know, we got to work on things. Like, dude, there should be a mandate. Protect him at all means. If you can't protect him, we're not playing him. Because the only thing you're going to do now is destroy the quarterback, destroy your organization, and set us back 5 more years. Like, I don't understand how Chris Johnson can sit there and watch the game on Sunday, 8 sacks, and just look at Sam and look what's going on and say, you know what, this is acceptable. I'd go in there at halftime, but listen, if you can't protect this kid, I'm taking him off the field and you're fired. Watch Joe Douglas talk about it like, yeah, you know, we got to do this. Like, I was kind of hoping where he'd kind of be like, listen, none of this is acceptable. We got to fix things. You know, like to say, oh, Adam Gase is a great coach and a great communicator, everything's going great, we have some work to do. I'd be like, no, nothing here is acceptable. Nothing. It's bad enough you're 1-6. It's even worse. Your quarterback is dying a slow death on the field. Like, we just saw Andrew Luck retire. We saw David Carr. We saw quarterbacks get destroyed by the same thing we're seeing from Sam Darnold right before our eyes. Like, Joe, this level of incompetence and the fact that it's acceptable. Like, they've accepted losing. They've accepted it. And they're okay with it.
Dude, and the worst thing about it is it's not – look, Adam Gase is going to try to blame the players. Well, they're not doing what we do when we practice and all that stuff. Look, if they're not doing what you practice, and that's on you, dude. You're the coach. You get that through to them. If they're not doing what you tell them to do, then that's your fault too, dude. But the thing that blows my mind is, like, schematically, just offensive principles of things he does not do. You have a Doga out there on pass rushers that have done it in the league. Out there, Calais Campbell by himself. What do you expect to have happen over there? You're watching this dude beat this kid all night, and not once do you think, maybe I should put a tight end over there. Maybe Chip. Maybe help him out. You waited until Sam was getting hit time after time after time, almost like the 7th sack, until you decided to put a tight end over there. And then after that, you didn't do it again. You're doing empty backfield when you see that these guys cannot get these guys blocked up front. But that's been consistent. Throughout this entire year, you've done that. Throughout this entire year, we've seen the same lapses in judgment, the same horrible-ass play calls, the same nonsense. We've seen it over and over again. And you have multiple people calling you out about it. You got regular guys that can tell you how to pick up a cover zero blitz, but you can't figure it out. And you're supposed to be the offensive guru. The problem is not the players. The problem is Adam Gase. Keep telling people it's Adam Gase. It's not the players. It's Adam Gase, dude. Unreal.
Listen, they waited 3 quarters to start rolling Sam out. 3 quarters. We moved him out of the pocket. Here's a novel idea, Joe. Like this is how novel of an idea it was. If we roll Sam out of the pocket, he may not get sacked as quickly. He may actually get a hurry up and get in rhythm with his receivers. Oh, it took you 3 quarters to figure that out? I knew that in the first quarter because he was running for his life then. So put him in motion
because
then.
He doesn't.
Do the hurry up then. Roll him out. Do these things.
This is classic Adam. This is classic Adam Gase. I said this, and this is one of the reasons why I never wanted his ass here. This nonsense about him being an offensive genius. The first quarter, once you come out, he has scripted plays. The second you make him go away from those scripted plays, when they started bringing adjustments, he had no clue what to do. He has no adjustments. He makes no adjustments. But this is not the only place that he's done that, guys. You Jets fans, if you're listening, it's not the only place that he never adjusted. He never adjusted with the Dolphins. Never. Go ask the Dolphins fan. Go watch.
Dude, this is the same
lack of adjustments there too. This is the same thing we've seen consistently from him.
I'll keep saying it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Todd Bowles did more with less.
Absolutely.
He did and I hate Todd Bowles. I hated Todd Bowles as head coach. He did more with less, and the team was more prepared. And this group is a joke. And listen, we focus on Adam Gase and the offense. This defense ain't no better. I mean, give me a break already. I mean, I understand the middle linebackers are decimated. God forbid Joe Douglas makes a move during the week when he knew this was going to happen, when Neville Hewitt was hurt, when Steve Mosley was hurt, and you waited to get James Burgess activated on Friday. We won't discuss that because Joe Douglas is clearly a god to these people. I have no idea why. I mean, he's proven nothing yet. He's got a lot to prove to me before we start giving him all this credit for things. But this defense, dude, what is this? Like, what are we doing on defense? I mean, just like, and listen, I love Jamal Adams. He had 2 terrible plays on Sunday. I mean, the tackling was atrocious. I mean, and it's like you're watching the defense play, and no disrespect to the Jaguars, this isn't the high-flying Rams we're facing. I mean, dude, if Minshew was standing back there was not an ounce of pass rush anywhere. Nowhere.
Nope.
Leonard Williams, Quentin Williams, Harry Williams, you call him Williams anywhere in this goddamn state. Nobody's touching him. He's just running around, doing what he wants. Receivers are running open, blowing assignments, blowing this, blowing that, and we're just going to – we have the excuse. Well, we don't have C.J. Mosley. We don't have this. Like, teams all across the NFL have injuries, but only the Jets can make excuses because they have injuries. It's a team effort, man. This entire team, we were unprepared again, week in and week out, unprepared. It's unacceptable, and I do not understand why it's like a culture that's been accepted. Like, losing and poor play and mismanagement is okay. There's no sense of urgency. Joe, it's almost like they know. It's like Joe Douglas and Adam Gase know we have a wash year. We can just wash this year away because it doesn't make a difference, and we'll come back next year. That's how they're treating this.
That's exactly how it looks like they're treating it. I mean, you watch that game defensively. I don't know what the hell Greg Williams was doing. I don't know what we were doing defensively at all. There was no pass rush. We got nothing from Leonard when he was still here. We got nothing from Quentin Williams. No Williams on the field was doing anything. Leonard Williams, Quentin Williams, Montel Williams, nothing. We got nothing from nobody. It made no sense whatsoever. We couldn't get to him. Like you said, Adams had some bad plays. That missed sack. We were giving up big plays left and right. There were so many bombs just over guys' head, and this is not a big play offense. The Jags don't have – it's not like we're facing the Saints. It's not like we're facing the Chiefs or something like that. They were just explosive. They're not like that. They're a good team. They're a solid offense, but they're not big play, big bomb stuff like that. I mean, hell, even Leonard Fournette was going off. He had a big run as well. I mean, It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible, and it was a bad defensive effort as well.
Yeah, so we're going to go to the phones. We got a ton of people on hold, a ton, probably the most we've ever had. So just do us a favor. If you do curse, we get hung up on immediately because we don't have time for it.
Yeah.
Also, we won't have the time to ask you a million questions because we have. I mean, it's just insane.
A million.
So
callers.
we are going to. Yeah, we do. So we're going to kind of just go into this as fast as we can. We're going to go to Joe in Westchester. Joe, what's up, man?
How's it going, guys?
I'm disgusted, man. I can't take anymore. I really can't take anymore.
Well, listen, man. Everything you guys have been talking about, I mean, you took the words out of my mouth. That when I called in, this is all stuff I was going to be talking about. But you know what? The problem isn't Adam Gase. He's not the problem. He's a symptom. It's this ownership. For the past 20 years, what's the one thing that this team has had in common? We've seen coaches come and go, players come and go. What's the one thing that's the same? And you know what? I wanted to call him last week. I was so – I couldn't talk to anyone. I couldn't watch football. Couldn't think about anything. I was so upset. I didn't call in. But I got to tell you, that was the most humiliating experience I've ever had as a fan. I tell you, the Patriots now have two stadiums. They have Gillette and MetLife.
Oh.
I mean, it was – I mean, you know, I'm a season ticket holder, and I sit through this crap week after week, and it's so hard to go out there anymore and, you know, come in to work the next day and have no voice. And I'm just so freaking disgusted. I think that what we have to do as Jet fans is shame the Johnsons until they sell the team. I'm serious. I know it's that bad right now. It's clear. It was clear to me after week 3, the first Patriots game, just watching Gase in the post-game conference. I mean, I just knew at that time, you have to fire this guy. And I'm not a fire the coach kind of a guy. I mean, I wanted to give Bowles a chance. Even in the third year when you guys were talking about how bad he was, I'm thinking like, no, you got to give him a little bit more. This is the first time where I've seen a head coach, and I know there are signs already that the players don't want to play for him. And this is only like, you know, like 3-4 weeks into his tenure.
Yeah. And I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but look, you're spitting fire right now. I got to get in here, man. There are just so many signs and red flags with Gase. I'm telling you, you're watching it. You're watching the bad offensive play calls. You're watching the horrible stuff that he's doing out there. You're watching these players just look lost out there. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I want to get to this question with you because we're going to have to move on. We got a lot of callers. But when you look at the situation with Jamal Adams and, you know, the trade talks, and he's been getting shopped, and I know he's upset about it, could you see this becoming a fallout in the locker room and the locker room start to get toxic because of it?
Become toxic? I think there's signs that it already has. I mean, this is it breaks my heart, too. It breaks my heart. You see this guy, a warrior. He's our champion. And the fact that he's got to fight every urge he has to just go nuts on social media right now. I mean, it breaks my heart. Same thing with Le'Veon Bell and and all our, and all our, everyone who leaves the heart on the field every day. Well, they're not lately. None of them are. But I don't know. This is just every year. I think it can't get any worse. And they find a way to make it worse. And I tell you, I lost respect for the Johnsons years ago. But the only way I'd get a modicum of respect for them right now is if they had the balls to fire this coach and say, we messed up, we're going to stop messing up. Take the heat from the media, take the heat from whoever, just move on. You made a bad hire and show the world that you're not going to stick the fans with another 2 years of rebuilding nonsense. And it's clear that that's what Douglas and Gase want to do. They have their built-in excuses. They want a clean house, start over. I can't sit through this. I've done it too many times. I can't. I mean, I can't even talk to people about football anymore.
Oh.
Joe, thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it. You know, Joe, I completely agree with you. And the one thing, like, listen, everybody wants to say, you know, Johnson's got to sell the team. Johnson's got to sell the team. They're not going to do that, which is a problem. But you kind of hope that they had a better clue of what's going on, and they clearly don't. Like, they just don't. And the thing is, like, and Joe hit a great point where he's like, you know what? Acknowledge your mistake. Like, you acknowledge that Mike McCagnon was a mistake, apparently way too long. I mean, you let him spend $100 million first and waste your your first-round pick. Not waste, but, you know, obviously your Mike McCagnon timing was terrible. But why not be ahead of the curve with Adam Gase? Why not acknowledge your mistake now? It's clearly a mistake while you're watching your franchise quarterback get destroyed, while you watch complete game and rot. But, Joe, at least the Johnsons can do this. At least acknowledge it.
Tyson, do you understand how idiotic we are as a franchise? Do you understand how idiotic they are, the Johnsons, to hire Adam Gase? Listen, the Jets, this
but admit the mistake and just fire them.
Listen,
what's it going to take? 2 more losses? They lose to Dolphins and Giants, then fire them?
Tyson,
that's what's going to take?
Tyson, they failed an open book untimed test. You know how stupid you got to be to fail an open book test? Let me explain to you why. Every piece of information that we needed to figure out how Adam Gase was as a coach as far as X and O's, as a locker room guy, how he handled players, and as a leader was readily available to us. Every single piece of information that you need to figure out who he was in totality was readily available to us. From us watching him, because we played him 3 years in a row, every year we saw him, that told you what his X and O's was about. He wasn't no offensive intellectual. He wasn't some offensive genius. We never worried about those things. You would talk about, you know, the dealing with the players. Dude, we had fans of the team. We had fans of the Dolphins telling us, hey, listen, don't hire this guy. He's an idiot. We hate him so much, we don't even want him in the league.
So you have really think about that. You have 7 games. We already have, like, take all that aside. Listen, before, we hired him. Okay,
Tyson,
you made the decision.
They're not going to.
But you've had 7 games to see the same thing. Like, you see the 7 games. You see it on the field and off the field. The assembly situation. Sam Darnold getting hurt. Guys dropping like flies. Guys question you. You don't look prepared. You look like you're lifeless. You're losing games. You're embarrassing yourself week in and week out. Like, what does it take? I want to know what it takes to get somebody fired here. Is it losing to the Dolphins? Because they very well could. Losing to the Giants? Like, that's it. Like, if they lose to the Dolphins and Giants and nobody's fired, I'd give up. I'm done, dude. Like Joe just said it. And
honestly,
the one thing they got to do.
Tyson, but why would
the other thing, Joe, I'm sorry.
That?
They
got
built-in
excuses.
But they got to answer to somebody. Like, you have season ticket holders or even people that buy jerseys. They owe an explanation to all these people that spend their hard-earned money week in and week out, and they're getting no return on their investment every goddamn week. Like, they had a tailgate down in Jacksonville, all these people, and nobody cares. So they're saying, you know what? I'm sorry, fans. Waste your money. We don't care.
Yeah. All they're going to do, that's why I'm telling you, they're going to sell you another rebuild. If it gets that bad, I'm saying we're already starting to see it. They're going to just sell you another rebuild. That's all they're going to do, Tyson. If they're going to fire him, they should have fired him after that Patriots game. That team didn't. They should have fired him after the Jags game. Usually, when a team gets blown out, what are you afraid of if you're the next opponent? That they're going to come out fired up because they're pissed off from getting done what got done to them last week, and they came out completely lifeless. You had the owner before the game say, "Hey, I'm hoping the team shows up today." What? This is after you just got spanked. Come on, man. Come on, Tyson. We've been watching this team for too long. We've been dealing with the Johnsons, for too long. They should have fired his ass after the Jacksonville game. You're letting Sam get lit up, and they didn't do it. So why do you think they'll fire him if we lose to the Dolphins? He got built-in excuses. The first thing he's going to tell him, hey, look, I'm just trying to rebuild this roster. We got a bunch of guys. We tried to trade, couldn't get rid of them, but this coming off season, he's going to get a year two, dude. I'm telling you, he's going to get a year.
You know what's so funny?
Go to the call.
This is the biggest problem I have. McCagnon is getting blamed for this free agency class when Adam Gase was a part of it. Like, all these moves they made, like, Adam Gase had to say, like, he is so good at deflecting any responsibility. Like, oh no, I wasn't in the draft room. That's like the draft wasn't me. The personnel moves weren't me. Free agency wasn't me. Nothing is him. And then today they're like, oh, well, what happened on the field? Well, they didn't execute the plays. They didn't translate from practice. At what point is it you? Like, every week they're unprepared. That's you. So we're going to go to Jared in New Jersey. Jared, what's up, man?
What's going on, Tyson? What's going on, Joe?
Dude, this is crazy, man. This is crazy here. I'm so just tired of Adam Gase. I can't take it anymore. I really can't.
I've never, ever experienced a meltdown like the Patriots game and then to see the Jacksonville game. Yo, I don't know what to say anymore. It's like Sam's playing the worst he could possibly play. Then you got trade reports leaking which way. Jamal wants to leave. Oh, then he wants to. I don't understand. It's hard to be a fan. It's hard to look forward to the Miami game. Sam's thumb's banged up now. Where do we catch a break this year? Mosley out for 5 to 6 weeks. When does it end, fellas?
Yeah, look, I want to thank you for calling in. I don't know when it's going to end, to be absolutely honest with you, but I tell you what, as long as we got Gase here, there's going to be some issues. And that's leading me to my first question with you, because we're talking about now, again, there's rumors about Le'Veon Bell being shopped. What are your thoughts about that and the reports of him supposed to be being shot for a trade?
Mind-blowing. It's crazy. It's like Gase will smile in the player's face, saying, oh, we need him. He's going to be a key contributor this year. And then week 7, we're already, we're looking to trade the guy first season. What kind of message is that send for free agents? You guys want to talk about the assembly thing. What does that tell you about? We just gave him, what was it, the 4th highest running back contract? What does that tell you for anyone who else thinking about playing for Adam Gase? You're on the chopping block. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Look at Jamal Adams, man. Jamal Adams is one of the most popular players in the NFL. He's a rising star in the NFL, and now you have him with all this scene. It makes the Jets look terrible.
It's crazy. It's like, how did they expect to sell those tickets? How did they expect to sell tickets for the rest of the season? I know. I stopped going. I went to the Cleveland game. I didn't witness anyone put up a fight. I was at the Eagles game, Jets and Eagles. I'm a Jets fan. How that goes, didn't see anything worth attending. So they ain't getting none of my money. I've been bamboozled, hoodwinked for the last time.
Jared, I listen. We appreciate you calling, man. Thanks a lot. And I completely agree with him, Joe. Like, you know what the funny thing is? I tweeted first thing Monday. I have a routine every Monday morning now when I go into the office. I walk in. I swear to God, I walk in and they're like, "Man, your Jets suck." That's the first thing I hear. I sit at my desk and I ponder. I'm like, "Why the hell am I a Jets fan? Like, why? Why do I do this to myself?" Because, dude, it's not enjoyable. Like, it's unwatchable football. You sit there. Like, the worst experience you could have as a Jets fan, other than paying for tickets and going to the game, is sitting in a sports bar surrounded by opposing fans, and they look at you and they feel bad for you. They're like, "I don't know how you do it, man. Like, week in and week out, I don't know how you watch this. I don't know how you deal with this." And they're like, "What do you think about Sam Darnold?" I'm like, to be honest with you, I have no friggin' idea, because I had a lot of faith in Sam Darnold, and now I'm watching him regress on a weekly basis. And can Adam Gase save him and resurrect him? I have no faith in that, and why should I?
No.
So we have to be legitimately nervous about this now. Like, you have to be nervous about it. You have to be nervous about it.
Dude, Adam Gase, and I want to thank the last caller for calling in. He's phenomenal. Resurrect him. Adam Gase is the one that's killing him. Adam Gase is the one that's causing the problem. I'm going to keep reminding people of this. Look, everybody's talking about Sam's mechanics and how they're bad. You want to know why? Because he's getting hit a lot. And when you get hit a lot, I don't give a damn who you are. I don't care what quarterback you are in the league. When you're getting hit the way Sam's getting hit, you will become skittish. Does anybody forget he's still dealing with some of the effects of that spleen as well? They have him wearing a big-ass flak jacket. What do you think that's for? Hello? Like, he doesn't want to get hit anymore. That's why he's doing it. That's why you're seeing him off his back foot. That's why you're seeing him not be squared up when he's throwing the football. That's why you're seeing bag mechanics and you're seeing regression, is because he's taking shot after shot after shot. And I told y'all about this, because that's what Adam Gase does to his quarterbacks. He leaves them hanging out to dry. And the worst part of it all is this regression could go into the rest of his career, because a lot of the times when you have this happen to QBs where they're taking shots all the time, it goes into their DNA. They become skittish in the pocket. They don't understand how to feel the rush anymore. They just hike the ball and they just immediately feel the rush. Look, it's October. Halloween's coming up. He's already seeing ghosts. He's already seeing ghosts. Understand what's happening here, people. It's Adam Gase. Adam Gase is the problem. We can trade every damn body. It doesn't matter. The offensive scheme is trash. Their logins is trash. All these guys that he got, they're trash. He's coming in with trash. He is a trash-ass head coach, and he's a trash-ass offensive coordinator. Period. When we understand that, that's where we can move forward. But Sam is
no, Joe. It's not. Wait, hold on. It's not when we understand that. It's when Chris Johnson and Joe Douglas understand that. We understand it.
Yeah.
But apparently they don't. So we're gonna go to Johnny in Florida. Johnny, what's up, man?
How are you guys? How you doing? All right, first time listener, first time caller. How you guys doing?
Well, this is a rough first time, I guess, man.
Oh God, dude, forget about it. Now, you know what's crazy? My ex-wife was a Knicks, Islander, Giant, Yankee fan, and my beautiful daughter followed me across the board: Mets, Jets, and Rangers. And man, the Jets. Listen, I remember my uncle took me in the early '70s. You know, I was born in '67, so I was about 5, 6. I don't remember. Everybody was going crazy for Joe Namath, Joe Namath, Joe Namath. And from a little boy, I fell in love with the green and white. I really didn't get too much of Joe Namath because I was kind of young. My real recollection is 1978, Richard Todd, so to say. But, man, does this team find a way to just muck it up. From the Bill Parcells era, when we had Bill Belichick right there on our hands, and we messed that up to freaking – now we got the new Browning-Nagel. This quarterback, they're going to wreck him. And this knucklehead coming out and saying, yo, I see ghosts out here. That was the worst thing possible. And the coach, guys, you are 1,000 points. This guy is, from his first, when he was all coked up, Wyatt, from his press conference, his eyes were bugging out of his head. Everybody was like, yo, what's up with this guy? What is up with this lunatic? Sniffing salt. And he's the quarterback whisperer. He's supposed to fix the quarterback. Yep. If this is fixing him, and I'm going to go. If this is fixing the quarterback, I don't want to know what's breaking the quarterback, guys.
Yeah, it's not pretty, man. This is as bad as it gets. This is rock bottom when this team has young talent, should have emerging talent, and they're going completely backwards. They're lifeless. There's nothing. There's no identity, no direction, no plan. There is absolutely nothing going on right now with this team. Nothing. It's embarrassing.
I don't even wear my Jet stuff down here. And listen, I live in Tampa. The Bucks are just as bad. They have their own. Jameis Winston has his moments, and then he has his moments that you scratch your head and you're just like, what was you thinking? But the Jets are even worse. And this whole thing, I'm going to go the whole Jamel Adams and everybody telling everybody we're going to trade this, and then not doing it. That's the worst thing. That's like telling your girlfriend, I think I'm going to go with the neighbor down the block, and then change your mind. No, I'll keep you. Right? No.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I want to thank you for calling in, and you hit the nail right there on the head, man. I want to get your thoughts on this before you go, though. How much turmoil do you think this will cause in the locker room? The issues that we're already seeing playing out in the media with these trade talks, guys not being where we're going from.
First of all, I think that's going to cause a problem. But now, do you guys remember a few years ago? Recollect me. Wasn't there an issue in the locker room where a fight happened over some stupid bet?
Yeah, Gino got punched in the face.
Right?
Yeah,
That's Gino Smith got punched in the head. You're right. Holy crap. Only the Jets, man. And I got
Johnny,
I have this. You too, guys. You too, guys. Peace, man. Peace.
All right, Joe. Man, can you imagine, Joe? Could you imagine being a first-time listener of this show? They're gonna be like, these guys are out of their minds. They've completely lost it.
Yeah. Hey, man, and I want to thank him for calling it. Maybe, he'll come right on back. Maybe he likes what we're dishing out here. Look, we keep it real, okay? And this team is acting like a bunch of dummies right now, and we got to speak on it. So that's what we do here, So we love talking to the people. We love getting your opinions as well, but we share ours.
Yeah, so we'll go to very busy phones. It's crazy. We're going to go to Shaq. Shaq, what's up, man?
Oh, man. How do I do this?
How do
I
man?
do it?
Make a YouTube video, man. I felt so much better after YouTube. I feel refreshed.
Could I put it on you guys' channel?
Go right ahead. I don't care.
You know something, man? Look, man. I appreciate you guys so much. I swear to God, man. Look, because every time I watch conferences or practices, those Jets practices with Eric Allen and everything, I feel like they're not honest enough. I feel like they're not honest, period. I feel like they just try to spew as much positivity as they can. But when I see Jets Talk Radio, woo! I know honesty is coming out, baby. Let's get it. That's what I want to see. I can't even watch. They usually have hour shows. I only watch 20 minutes of it because I'm like, how you find the positive of getting your butts with 50-0? I don't understand. Like, how do you find the positive? What? Like, what? Hold on. I gotta get my notes out. You know, this Shaq notes gotta come out. Shaq notes gotta come out because I know it's a long show. I know. Oh man.
But Shaq, your biggest. You have to be the biggest concern coming out of this game, other than the pure incompetence of Adam Gase, is the health, welfare, and just playing ability of Sam Darnold. It's impossible to not be concerned and nervous about the direction he's going, the pounding he's taking. It's alarming, and it's like it's getting worse.
Getting worse. It is getting worse, and it's showing as if Sam Darnold is injury prone. Like, I knew that he wasn't injury prone. Is he injury prone, Joe? Because I know you were USC.
No.
So this guy's not injury prone.
No, he's not injury prone, Shaq. But the thing is when you're getting hit by 300-pound guys all the time, and you're usually not used to that, it's gonna cause some injuries. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're a guy just standing back there, and there's nobody blocking for you, and you're just getting smacked. Yeah, it's gonna cause some injuries. When you got a horrible-ass offensive coordinator that doesn't understand how to scheme correctly against, these pass rushers that are just chomping at the bit to decapitate you, yeah, it's going to cause some injuries. You know what I'm saying? So the issue here is maybe schematically, maybe offensively, we need to make some changes here. I don't know. Maybe we should help Sam Darnold out, put tight ends on line, and help Udoka out instead of leaving him out to dry with a very good defensive lineman because – I don't know. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should put Le'Veon Bell in the backfield and have him block more. I know that a lot of people don't necessarily know who Le'Veon Bell is, but he's one of the better blocking backs in the league. That's something we can do. But we don't do any of that around here. We don't do none of that. We just go, hey, Sam, you're going to be back there by yourself. Good luck. Like, that's all we do. We don't make adjustments here. We don't change things. So as long as we have a dumbass making the calls, then you're going to have dumbass results, and you're going to end up getting your quarterback broken in half. That's what's going to happen. He's going to take shot after shot like he's done every game. He took 8 sacks this game. His jersey looked ridiculous. It was full of mud, grass. There was just he was just getting completely destroyed all day and all night. All night, Shaq. It was completely ridiculous.
Almost like D lineman just dragging him 100 yards up and down the damn field, just tearing him apart.
He had no chance whatsoever at all. And there was plays where he literally hiked the ball and he was already down because there were guys already in his face, man. But I want to get your thoughts on this situation with Robbie Anderson. What are your thoughts about him not getting traded? And could you see him kind of losing focus this season because he was involved in the trade rumors?
I don't think he'll lose focus. I think he'll keep it professional, but that money thing, man, I don't know, man. He just everything. I feel like everything will fall in place. I pray that everything falls in place because now all of a sudden my trust in Joe Douglas is slightly going out the window. Like I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. Le'Veon Bell is preaching patience, even though he was getting in the trade rumors and everything. And I agree with him. I say, okay, let's be patient then. We've been patient for 40, 50 years, but let's be patient then. I just said I'll be patient again. It's fine. It's cool.
Well, he knows he's going to be gone at the end of the year. Le'Veon Bell probably knows he's going to be gone.
Man,
I'm going to act like a professional. I'm going to be a class act. I'm going to get through the season, and once the season's over, I'm getting myself out of here. That's what he's going to do. He probably knows, man. He's like, listen, the writing's on the wall. I'm just going to be a class act about it. Like Jamal Adams probably knows too. Listen, once the season's over, they're going to ship me out of here. And Robbie Anderson probably the same thing. He's like, you know what? My days are numbered too. They all probably know. So now it's like, you know what? Am I going to give you max effort? Hey, if I'm banged up, I'm sitting out. I'm not going to play. How long until that starts happening? Where a little injury, you know what, man? Hey, I got to sit this one out. I'm sorry, man. It's only a matter of time, man. That's going to start with everybody's going to start looking towards next year. Where am I going to be next year? How much am I making next year? It's happening, man. It's only a matter of time now.
I hope that doesn't happen because you need some cornerstones to start from and try to build the O-line, try to build the pass.
The cornerstones. Tell me, let's look at the offense real quick. Who the hell on offense is the cornerstone? You hope it's Sam. Le'Veon Bell is not a long-term answer, so it's not running back. Mm-hmm. Who are receivers?
Yeah.
Who's a long-term answer at receiver? Maybe Robbie if you re-sign him. We don't have one offensive lineman. We don't have one. 1 out of 5. We don't have one that we can count on. And tight end, Chris Herndon, is on the freaking field. What are all these building blocks we have? So they see defense. Okay, who is it? Marcus May? Maybe Mosley if you can get him on the field. Where are all these great building blocks? We are screwed, man.
It's almost like I feel like it's almost like these GMs just come here and get paid just to tear us down. I don't understand. How you go from being a 3-time Super Bowl champ to coming here to not even knowing how to fix a kicker situation for a whole month? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense.
How to send an MRI? You couldn't send an MRI right.
They can't even send an MRI right. Like, come on. Like, and then I'm going crazy arguing with guys.
But the other thing, too, here's the other thing. Not to cut you off, but the other thing is, listen, before you have your press conference today, if you have 3 players involved in trade talks, here's an idea. Talk to all 3 of them, not Le'Veon and Robbie, and then do your presser. You get Jamal Adams on the phone and say, listen, man, here's the deal. Don't go rogue and have your press conference and be like, oh, yeah, I didn't talk to him yet. Because here you are, miscommunication, a bad look, all this nonsense, it can all be avoided. Another mistake by Joe Douglas.
Oh, my God. We just got I think we just got to pray for this year's over. This year is over. I'm done with this year. I'm not even look. Even if we make the playoffs, we're getting smacked by 50 in the wild card.
Did you just say? Wait, what? Did you say? Wait, hold on. Hold on a second. I just
playoffs. Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
Playoffs.
Exactly.
Shaq, have a good night, man. I gotta let you go. You mentioned playoffs. I gotta let you go, man. Go ahead, man. Just go ahead. That's you said playoffs.
One more thing.
Jesus Christ.
If I hear arguing with fans again telling me that Minshew is better than Sam,
hey man, Minshew played good, man.
If Minshew was here on the Jets, he would be getting his ass kicked too. He would have been cut. He would have been cut just like Luke Falk. Or he would have been cut. He'd been gone. You can let me go, Tyson. I'm done.
Shaq, have a good night, man. You know, and there is, I know Kevin just said this. I did listen to Michael Kay, and they said that, you know, Jamal Adams could have been clever by saying once the press conference was done, he tweeted out the information, not realizing that Joe Douglas would have the forum with Michael Kay. I don't even care. Like, here's the deal. If Joe Douglas should talk to Jamal Adams the minute this went down before the press conference, and all this gets avoided. Like all this stuff is just handled incorrectly. And if I'm being just negative towards the organization, you know what? I feel the right to, because they have not earned my trust, they have not earned my respect, and the losing continues. So that's it, Joe. Like I don't care anymore. Like I just don't care. I've had it. Like it's everything they handle wrong.
Yeah, and look, I want to thank Shaq for calling in. You're correct. They handled this thing, you know, piss poorly. Some of the guys that are shopping, it's just completely ridiculous. But again, for me, it's looking at what's going on the field and not making a change, not doing what it takes to make sure that Sam is protected, not doing what it takes to make sure that this offense is functioning. That's what's maddening to me, because we're watching them go out every game day and just get shellacked, and it's completely ridiculous.
We're going to go to Jesse in Jacksonville. Jesse, what's up, man?
Hey, how you guys doing? I'm a long-time suffering Jet fan since the 80s. This is the first time I calling into your show. Just had a few things that I wanted to say and go over. I've heard a few callers calling in about the ownership and everything. I agree, but guess what? If you think Leon Hess was any better, rewind the tapes back to the 80s and tell me what kind of team they had. So I understand the whole ownership, but again, this coaching staff is horrendous. Okay, I've been a fan for a long time. See a lot of coaches come and go, players come and go. We've never really had a really great franchise quarterback. I mean, every time we talk about a quarterback in the Jets, you talk about one person. That's Joe Namath. He was really the only person that ever came out and won the big game. We've had multiple quarterbacks in this league where we thought we were going to be franchised, like Sanchez and them, and we've gotten so close, and it's like we trip up. But I want to throw something at you guys. I'm going to go out here on a limb. two coaches, Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan. Can you tell me where they coached?
Mm-hmm.
Where did they coach before they became a head coach?
One came from Tennessee.
Falcons. Yeah, good, Joe.
Yeah.
They both coached the Redskins. They both coached the Redskins, and when they went on to another team, they became great coaches. Here's my take on it. Gase sucks. He's probably the worst coach I've ever seen. Okay, why not go out if this season? If you guys think we're going to go 8-8 and make the playoffs? You think we're going to go 10-6? No, right?
No.
So this year's a wash. Why not go out, sign Jay Gruden, see what he can do? Say, hey, you got the rest of the season to see what you can do, put together. You either show me or don't. And at the end of the year, you can make another change. But as far as this leaks coming out, that shows you that it's not just the coaching staff; it goes up higher. And if I was Johnson walking around and I hear these leaks coming out, and now it's going to disrupt the locker room, we already have enough problems in the locker room. We have enough problems on the field. I can't imagine what this is going to cause. And you guys are right. You have a coach there who's incapable, and now our quarterback's getting hit all the time. If you keep him there the rest of the year, I can guarantee this. You keep him there the rest of the year, and this quarterback keeps getting hit as much as he is going to be the next Andrew Luck.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, I want to thank you for calling in because you're bringing it. As far as the coaching aspect, I think that we'll talk about that when that comes, but there's a couple of coaching candidates that could be out there for us. But you also got to remember that just like when free agents are looking at us right now and we're not a destination, there may be some much more attractive coaching positions that could be open at the end of the year too that might pull some big-time names away from us because of what we're doing right now and the unsettling feeling the turmoil that could be in this locker room. You might have coaches looking at this situation like, I do not want to have nothing to do with that team at all. So that's the situation there. But the stuff that you were talking about on the field, the fact that he's getting Sam beat up the way he is, the fact that the offensive scheme is completely trash, you're absolutely correct. But what blew my mind one of the most was the handling of Le'Veon Bell. The fact that he only got 9 carries against the Jags. This is one of the best backs of our era, and you only give him 9 carries. What are your thoughts about that?
No, it's ridiculous. And here's what I don't understand either. We went from, and I'm sick to my stomach, to be honest with you. We went from watching Bill Belichick laughing at us to coming out and getting beat up by the mediocre Jaguars. And it's like, where's the changes? Where's the halftime switch? I mean, there's no game plan. Like you said earlier, I believe what you said. We don't have the blocking. If we don't have the blocking, then guess what? Go to 2 tight end formation. Have your back stay back and block if he has to, and get the ball out there. Do whatever you have to do to protect this quarterback because, honestly, I'll be honest with you. My eyes are still open. I still think this quarterback can be a great franchise quarterback. But what's going on? I keep hearing that. I've been listening to the news too. Oh yeah, he needs to be. They need to coach him up. Rex Ryan the other day talking about how he's regressing. I don't want to hear about him regressing. The guy's going to regress. You tell me one quarterback out there right now that can go out and play and isn't going to regress after getting hit more times than I've never seen a quarterback hit this much. To go back to that real quick, the Belichick thing. Another caller called in. Absolutely right. The day we had Belichick, man, you do whatever you have to do to keep Belichick at that point. And he's a coach for a day, man. It seems like it's our scenario. It's like a curse that we have, and it aggravates me. But we need to do whatever we can to protect this quarterback. But I don't think. If they're going to keep Gase the rest of the year, I don't know how many fans are going to deal with this. I'd be shutting TV off after the first quarter, to be honest with you.
Jesse, excellent call, man. Thanks for calling, and we appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great night. Joe, and it's fair. Listen, we can rip the Jets over how they handle the trade deadline, all this. But then when you go back to the field and you look at the on-the-field performance and what's actually going on, and the funny thing is everybody keeps telling me how the schedule's getting easier. They're coming into every game unprepared and lifeless. It's just but the thing is, even the Jets themselves. But the Jets themselves are acting like, things are going to get better, this and that. Like they're just making excuses and trying to find, things will improve. Listen, beating the Dolphins is no big accomplishment. If you lose them, it's a real big problem. But it's just, I can't take it. every facet of every glimmer of hope, every direction, every light end of the tunnel, all that thing has been shoved right up our ass because we have no identity, we have no direction, there's no plan, and you look towards next year and you look at all the potential holes, and you look at the fact that Adam Gase could still be running all of this. It's like, dude, it can't be any worse. It's impossible to have any confidence in this. And then you think about the general manager may not have power, and the ownership's not going to do anything. Give me a break, dude. We've learned nothing. We've learned nothing in the organization.
Yeah, listen, I want to thank the last caller for calling in. It was great. I started to die laughing because people are telling the schedule is getting easier. Like, oh, we're playing bad.
We're the easy team.
We're a bad team.
Can't wait to play.
We're the bad teams, clowns. You guys,
they're probably resting up Case Keenum for us.
Yeah, the teams that we're playing are looking at us going, hey, yeah, we got an easy one coming up, too.
We got the Jets.
What is wrong with you guys? You know what I'm saying? You don't think the Dolphins are looking at the situation going, hey, this is a team that we can beat? You don't think the Giants are looking, the Redskins, the Raiders, we got the Bengals coming? You don't think those teams are looking at that situation going, this is definitely a team that we can take on or definitely a team we can beat? Come on, man. Look, if you're only good enough to consistently beat, or not even consistently, but compete with bottom-feeding teams, what does that say about you as an organization? If you have to look at the schedule, we can beat these trash teams, but we can't compete with mediocre teams. We can't compete with the Jaguars; they're going to smash us. But we can beat a team that's in a full-blown tank and rebuild. What does that say about you and your coaching staff? That is nothing to hang your hat on. You shouldn't be proud of something like that, especially when you're coming out of a 5-year rebuild your damn self. Come on,
Joe. But listen, imagine this, Joe. I'm going to give you a scenario. You're going to be two people. You're going to be a billionaire owner. You own this NFL franchise, and you're this new general manager, right? And you're watching your new young quarterback get the living hell beat out of him. And you're like, wow, that's kind of weird. Like, this is bad. This is not good for him. This is definitely concerning. So you're like, we're just going to put on our press conference here. We're going to watch and see what our head coach, Adam Gase, has to say. Because clearly there's a problem with the protection. And his explanation was more blockers, more blocking equaled less protection and more confusion. So he added more blockers. So more blockers against less defensive players equaled more confusion and more pain for my quarterback. If you're an NFL owner or you're a general manager and you heard your head coach say that and your first words weren't, you're fired, what are we doing here? Seriously, what are we doing? Like, what are we in business for?
Man.
Like, if that's my business, but seriously, if I'm the owner of an organization and I hear that, first phone call is to HR. Adam Gase, line 2, please. He's out of here. Pack up his. Listen, don't let him pack his stuff up. Don't let him pack it up. We'll box it for him and mail it to his house. He can go now.
Listen. You don't even have to listen. Chris Johnson was at the game. If I was Chris Johnson,
more blockers equals less protection. More equals less protection. Not better. Less.
Tyson, I'd have fired his ass on the sidelines before the game was even over. I'd have took the headset off of myself, put it on. You're done. I wouldn't even let him walk through the tunnel. You get up and you walk through the stands with the rest of the fans. Get your ass out of here. I fired him immediately. That is completely
I would have unplugged the microphone at the press conference. Like, in the middle of the press conference, after he said that, I would have walked up. You ever see, like, the old Gong show where the big hook comes out? I would have hooked right off the press conference. Like, shoop, unplug the microphone, curtain comes down.
Here.
Press conference is over. You're done. Take care.
This is ridiculous.
Goddamn
that is ridiculous.
Show.
And then in that same conference, he was, that was a bad play call by me. I wish I had that one back. I know that interception was on me. Half of the damn things is on you. What's not on you? Please get to that caller. I'm tired of games. I'm so tired of this dude, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, Kevin, and thank you to Primetime, because Primetime's tweeting like crazy. He's giving me. I had like show notes written down, but I threw them because I was so pissed, and I can't even read them. So Kevin's helping me out here. We're gonna go to Mr. NYSFMag.com. Jay, what's up, man?
Man, I have been. First of all, this show has been fantastic. You guys are on fire tonight, but. You know what's the funny thing is that I was hoping that I'd jump on this before anybody else, because one of the funniest things about this whole thing is that guess who's having a career resurgence out there right now is I've noticed that Mr. Ryan Tannehill threw for 3 touchdowns and no picks this weekend against the Bucs, and he's got like 6 touchdowns
and
2 picks and like a 108.3 passer rating, and he's still upright. So I mean, it's just crazy what's going on out there, man. I was in Jacksonville, man. The bar's been set so low that, like, the funniest thing about it is I caught myself, like, on the way out of there thinking, well, at least we were in the game in the fourth quarter and only, we scored a couple of touchdowns. Like, wait a second, dude. Like, shut up. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we just lost by 14 points to the freaking Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm leaving there because of the abuse that we've taken this year from all these other games. I'm leaving there, like, semi-content that at least I had some fun at the game for once this year. Like, I got to cheer for a touchdown. Woohoo. It's like, geez, man. I'm spent, man.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, like, I don't have the fire this week that I normally do because I'm just tired of it, man. I'm spent. I'm exhausted. This stuff just, it eats at you, man. And then you have a day like today, and it's like, man, what a circus. It's like, how much?
Hold on. Time out. How could you not, Joe, I'm sorry, I got to cut him off. So how could you not have fire when you're a PSL holder, your family spends all this money, and you just heard the friggin' coach when he tried to explain pass protection for your franchise quarterback, we added more blockers, but that was less protection. Or you heard Joe Douglas say, yeah, you know what? We didn't shop anybody, and meanwhile, everything's saying the complete opposite. Like, this is a traveling circus. As a PSL holder, how the hell are you not just furious?
Dude, I mean, you guys know where I stand. It's like, I'm furious isn't even the word. It's like you're just, I'm speechless. I'm literally speechless. I don't like everything that you got that's been said on the show. It's like it's just like, to me, if I spoke my mind, it would just be repeating everything that everyone's been saying, and then on top of it, it's not even just PSLs. It's the traveling back and forth. It's going to road trips. It's doing events. It's doing magazine. It's talking about it nonstop on social media. It's a lot, man. It's a shame because the problem is now and what's so frustrating about all this is all off season. You were sold all this hope, and you figure you sat around and you had all these years of misery, and and Todd Bowles, and finally we shed that, Mike McCagden, and finally we shed that. And I want to say first, get off topic for 1 second. I apologize for defending Mike McCagden. I do, because I went to battle for that guy, and the results are what they are. It was a terrible take, and I got to eat that one and take that L. But dude, misery, I mean, is what you have now, and you were sold all this hope, new jerseys, Jamal Adams. I posted something on Twitter earlier today that was like, a picture of the jersey launch event with like 6 guys, and it's like, Robbie Anderson, Quincy Enunwa, Chris Herndon, and Jamal Adams, and it's like, and you're talking about trading Jamal and trading Robbie, and Leo's already gone. He was on there, and Herndon hasn't played because of suspension and injury, and Quincy got hurt in the first game, and and Sam Darnold seeing ghosts, and it's like, dude, the guy's regressing before our eyes, and it's like we were sold all this hope, and this is going to be the year that even Vegas had him at 7.5 wins, like I said last week. This should have been a 500 team according to the people who set these odds, and now what do we have? Seven weeks in, they're talking about trading Le'Veon and trading. And they traded Leo, and they're talking about it's just. I'm sorry, I'll let you talk, Joe, but this is what it is.
Listen, Jay, and I want to thank you for calling in out here. And that's what frustrates me as well, or upsets me, is that there was so much talk in the offseason and talk of hope. Even Adam Gase coming out saying, "Hey, I want to be playing meaningful games, in December," and all this other stuff. And now all of a sudden it's like, hey, we need a rebuild, guys. We need to just refocus. So this team and this roster, you guys played up, and now you guys can't get it done. Something else is wrong here. What has changed? And it's been the coaching. You talked a little bit about Sam and his regression. I mean, what are your thoughts on watching Sam getting hit over and over and over again, and there being no adjustment to keep him protected?
I'm going to answer that. I just want to add one thing to what you said. Dude, Adam Gase, when he got McCagden fired, he literally said none of this matters as long as we win. But he never said what happens if they don't. And, anyway, I'll answer your question. Sam Darnold, man, like, I have some videos, from that game that of just free rushers. I took a couple because it was like, big spots, third down. You're hoping to get a first down, get some cool video or something of it. Dude, there's like, you guys see it on TV, the all 22, however you want to watch it. It's just insane. The guy steps back 2 steps, 1 second, and there's 2 guys in his face and he's dead. And it's not just once or twice a game. It's once or twice a drive. You can't sustain a drive with this team because even if you get a first down it feels like a miracle every time you pick up a first down. But even if you pick up a first down, eventually first of all, how many offensive pass interference calls are we But besides that, eventually it's going to be first and 4, first and 10, second and 6 or something, and he's going to take a sack, and then all of a sudden you're looking at second and 16, second and 20, and the drive's over. And now you're just getting a couple of yards. You've set up some better field position and punt the ball back. So he's getting murdered. And dude, the only thing you really needed to see out of this season, the whole reason Adam Gase was hired, you were fine going 7-9, 8-8, as long as Darnold showed progress. He's showing the exact opposite. He's showing regression. So what's the accountability? If Sam Darnold goes out there, first of all, he's getting killed. His hand is screwed up now. I mean, it's a miracle that he's still in one piece. I can't believe on one of these sacks he's free rushers. I can't believe he's not snapped in half by now. But he's taken brutal punishment, and the effect of that is that he's got happy feet. He's overthinking things. He's making decisions that are wrong. He's throwing bad passes because anybody that stands back there, we saw that with Ken O'Brien, back in the day. We've seen this play out before. These guys are getting pummeled. He's getting pummeled, and so it's very hard for me to judge Sam Darnold. I know people are like, man, he may not be what we thought he was, but how can you even judge him in this with that protection and with that in this offense? You can't. But Gase was brought here to develop him, and he's regressed. And so, what then? I don't know. I mean, that's the most damning thing on Adam Gase right now, I think, more than anything else.
Well, the other thing is, too, listen, the whole Sam Darnold thing is enough to fire the head coach. The other thing is the same exact thing everybody wanted Todd Bowles fired for. The team was lifeless. They made no adjustments. Yep. They had no, they're just taking a beating. And it's okay, no problem. Hey, listen, we're collecting our checks, no big deal. After getting embarrassed by the Patriots, this should have been a resilient group where they came out with just a fist of fury. Listen, we are not going to embarrass ourselves 2 weeks in a row. Dude, they were lifeless, and they got back into the game because the Jaguars couldn't put them away because they were a slap fest themselves. It's the same thing we could play.
You should have seen the sideline.
The same exact thing.
You should have seen the sideline, guys. I commented on during the game. Guys sitting down, head in hand. You're down by 2 scores in the third quarter. Guys are just standing around, moping around. The only guy that showed any emotion, they're busy getting their butts kicked. And the only guy that really showed any emotion on that sideline that I could see was Leonard Williams, who at one point chucked a water bottle into the crowd. You want to see somebody grab somebody by the face mask and be like, what the hell is going on here? You're getting this guy killed. Let me tell you something. Jacksonville, I got to tell you this one thing before I go, Joe, because you're going to find this funny. This is the only other stadium I've ever seen this, and I know this drives you insane. Jacksonville has a dedicated big screen TV in the corner of the stadium playing Red Zone the entire time. I've never seen anything like that. The entire game, not just for clips, the whole game. You can watch other games while you're sitting in your seat in Jacksonville. I found that you're the first person I thought of when I saw it. I was like, man, Joe would be losing his mind right now. But listen, man. God. Considering how that game was going, I appreciated that TV being out there, man, because I couldn't watch too much more of it, and I can't watch too much more of this stuff, man. It's a lot to take in, man. As a passionate fan, as a PSL holder, as a person who runs a media company, built mostly around this stuff, and just when you combine all three, man, it's enough to drive a sane man crazy. And the worst part about it is that like I was starting to say before. There's really no end in sight now because, you wanted to believe that Darnold was the answer. We had some young guys in place, Quinnen and Jamal, and we signed Bell, and we were going to be competitive and be able to maybe take that next step in the next year or two. And now it's looking like this is a complete teardown and a complete rebuild. And you're talking about, if that's the case, and it clearly is, we're talking about years and years where we're going to have to suck it up and completely just overhaul this entire thing. And that's what we're in for as Jet fans. I mean, it's a sad reality, but it's the reality. I mean, I can't see this turning around in a year or two. There's just too many holes. And, and we don't even know what I know you guys are convinced and so am I, but, who knows what the Jets are going to do with the coaching situation. But, it's like, God, are you going to bring Gase back for year two? I mean, it's just a bad situation. And I'm just spent. I'm kind of like that's why I'm not all screaming and yelling. I'm beaten.
I'm blowing a gasket tonight. I don't give a rat's ass. Jay, thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. Yeah, have a good night.
NYSF Mag, and that's a guy that he's actually the one that had the video. He was there at the game and got Chris Johnson there with his comment about the Jets. And dude, and that's the whole thing. It's like you look at it, the situation, how this all played out today. And listen, I don't care what the whole Jamal Adams situation, who said what, who did what. The fact of the matter is the Jets were talking about trading him. So now this offseason, you're going to have all these things worrying about Le'Veon, worrying about Robbie, worrying about Jamal, trading him, who you're going to replace him with. And then the other aspect of all this, there's two big question marks now, three actually. So you have all these potential trades, right? All these things over. You have to worry about what is Sam, because we really don't know what he is then. What is Adam Gase? We have no idea. We know right now we have legitimate concerns about how bad him and his staff are. And what is Joe Douglas?
I know what he is.
We don't even know what Joe Douglas is. We have to hope to the living hell this guy knows what he's doing and can actually draft well. Because remember, we all thought McCagnon was going to draft well. Look how that worked out. So, dude, we got to hope to the living stars that Joe Douglas is good, Joe.
Yeah. Look, and I want to thank Jay for calling in. I mean, I'm definitely much more sure of Douglas because of his work with the Eagles and because of his scouting background and because he was hands on there and brought in a lot of guys. So I'm much more sure of Joe Douglas than I was ever of Mike McCagnon. But we'll see what he does in the offseason to continue to build this roster or go into a straight rebuild of the roster, whatever the hell he's going to do. But we'll see, the moves that he makes. I know what Adam Gase is. Oh, you won't fool me. I know exactly who he is, and I knew who he was when we got him, so I know what he's about. But because of Gase, again, you're going to have that question about Darnold. Well, what is this kid? Yeah. And the fact that we're destroying him before we actually even figure out what he is, or we're changing the trajectory of what he could be because you're allowing Adam Gase to do what he's doing to this kid, is completely ridiculous, man.
No, I agree. We're going to go to Nigel. Nigel, what's up, man?
Gentlemen, how y'all doing? How's everything?
How do you think we're doing, man?
That said it all. That said it all. That's it all. Okay, that was kind of awkward. The thing is, we don't need to discuss the Jacksonville game. We don't need to do that. You run the Patriots tape, and it's the same thing. They was doing well with the first quarter, and after that, someone on the Jacksonville sideline say, hey, wait a minute, didn't these guys get their doors blown off a couple of days ago? And they brought it up on YouTube, and they started running the same thing, and you know what happened. Everybody just started blitzing again. The concession stand guys, the cheerleaders, everybody blitzed and come through. And Adoga, right, you can't get mad at him. He's 22 years old, and he's never experienced this. Calais Campbell, man, that's a hand. Listen, I mean, even season tackles have problems with him, okay? So,
yes.
Anyway, I want to talk about what has happened, all right? And I was wrong about Gase. I was very excited for Gase to come, but I was wrong. That's why I call him every week, and I take my medicine, okay? But you know who I'm really upset about? Joe Douglas today, and I'm going to tell you why. He had a beautiful chance to just clean the whole deck. Just listen, what you offering? Here you go, goodbye, and just clean out the deck, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you why. The stench is going to linger in this locker room for the rest of the season, okay? You can't unwind this clock. You can't say, oh yeah, we wasn't fair. And the thing is, Joe Douglas, I would have called those guys Monday morning. Le'Veon, Robbie, Jamal. And listen, you know what, guys? I love y'all. But you know what? We got to go.
Here's my question, though. And I want to thank you for calling in. Look, I hear you. Adam Gase, he is who he is. And like you said, that once the Jacksonville Jaguars started to once they started to bring pressure, it was over. That first drive, they just let him coast. There was no nothing, whatever. But you look at what Joe Douglas, and I'm wondering, I get it. Like you said, you want to make some trades, but why trade building blocks? Why would you trade a guy like Jamal Adams?
Okay,
why would you trade Le'Veon Bell when these are the guys that you can build around them? You can build the pieces. Go ahead.
Okay, let me raise my hand in the classroom. We have relationships with women, right? The thing is, I'm just using that as an example. Things are the way they are. If you want new results, you got to get new people. You understand what I'm saying? You can't do new things with the same people. We haven't won anything with Jamal Adams, okay? We haven't won anything with Robbie. We haven't won anything with Le'Veon Bell. You understand what I'm saying?
But it's not because
Today.
of them, though.
No,
it's
they got to go.
Of them.
Listen,
it's because it's not because of them that we're not winning. Hold on. Let me finish though. It's not because of Le'Veon or Adams that we're not winning. If anything, those are the guys that are putting us in positions to win. Le'Veon Bell has kept us in positions to win in multiple games. Adams has kept us in positions to win multiple games. It's the other problems. It's the awful offensive line. It's the bad cornerback play. It's all these other guys. So there's other ways that you can go about because, again, free agency is coming. We got money. We got a whole draft. You can build the team up. It may not happen. It definitely is not going to happen in 1 year. But you don't trade guys that are putting on and they're building blocks. You build around those guys because you trade Jamal Adams, you trade Le'Veon Bell. Guess what? You have to replace those guys. You're trading elite talent. What are you replacing them with?
No. I understand where you're coming from. But the thing is, sometimes we get too sentimental with people. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, no, we do. The thing is, by the time we get good, this team, remember I said last week that this team needs to be torn down to the studs? By the time the Jets, listen, this is not going to fix itself next season. If anybody thinks that they're going to fix this thing by next season, it's not happening, okay? This is a 2-3-year build. It is. And number two, Gase is going to be here. As much as I hate it, this is their team. They're going to do it. But today, what they should have done, they should have they had an offer for Robbie for a 4. I would have taken it, okay? Jamal Adams, you give me a 1 and a 4. Goodbye, Jamal. Le'Veon Bell, you want to give me a 3. Goodbye.
But what does that say to your locker room? You're trading the playmakers. You're trading the guys. What is that saying to your locker room when you're trading the best players off?
That now. Okay, I'm going to address that now. Andrew Brandt talk about people who hold in. You know, you have a holdout. You have people that hold in. Like, for example, Jalen Ramsey, right? They had to get him out of that locker room. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to say goodbye. Some girlfriends you done had, when you let her go, didn't your life improve a little bit? I know you miss her, but guess what? You didn't have to put up.
That's a completely different scenario. What was going on with Jalen Ramsey is he didn't want to be there. These guys want to be Jets. Period.
Not after today. Not after today.
Because of how they were handled. But before today, what was everything that Jamal said in the media? Everything. He's one of the faces of the franchise. He's the president. He's one of the most beloved players on the team by the fan base. You got Le'Veon Bell week in and week out talking about positive vibes and how he can't wait to go out there and play every single week, put his body on the line. This guy is carrying the offense. The only guy.
I agree. I understand.
So what are you talking about? Well, what are we talking about? The guy got to let them go. They don't want to be here. They want to be here. It's the fact that we're mishandling them again.
This is the deal, guys. Joe Douglas had an opportunity just to clear the slate. This team needs to be ripped down to the studs, okay?
Yeah, but he can still do that, Nigel. He can still do it in the offseason.
He can
do it this offseason.
Exactly.
Yeah, but what you're going to do, okay, you have people. You're going to have – okay, hear me out. They should lose to Miami. They lose to Miami and lose to the Giants, then what, guys? It's going to be extremely toxic in that locker room. My point is, right, I understand where you're coming from, but the way I look at it is like I'm in charge of people. And when I fire some people, I feel good about myself because I don't have to see them anymore. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
no, you laughing. My life improves. I don't care about the person I'm firing or getting rid of.
You feel good about firing
people.
You feel good about firing people.
Let me tell you something. Because they're not doing what they need to be doing. Or they're not, listen, guys, I know it sounds cruel. Listen, this is
but they are
world,
doing what they're supposed to be doing. The person that's being fired is players.
Right.
Nigel,
but
thanks
listen,
for calling it. Thanks for calling it, man. We appreciate it. Joe, the one thing I had to cut him off because we got so many people on hold. But the thing is, listen, just because Jamal Adams wasn't traded today doesn't mean he can't be traded after the season's over. And I'm willing to bet on he will. I think all three guys today will be dealt after the season. I think that's no doubt about these guys are all gone.
Absolutely.
Not a question.
They'll be chopped again. Yeah, and I want to thank you for calling in. I absolutely believe that these guys will be shopped again in the offseason. You can already see that coming, especially with this. I mean, Robbie, he'll probably be gone anyway, but, these guys will definitely be shopped if Adam still wants to be here or Le'Veon is still here or whatever. But I'll tell you what, to sit here and talk about trading two guys that are like two of the biggest Jet players that we have, you guys are elite talent, and you're getting ready to get rid of them for what? I just don't understand that. I just don't get it. There's other ways to build the football team. You don't have to ship these guys off.
The only thing I agree with Joe Douglas is, listen, if somebody calls, I'm going to listen. Okay, you could listen.
Yeah.
But how about this? How about not have it broadcasted all across the NFL? How about you do this behind closed doors and nobody knows about it? That's the first thing. Run a competent front office. Because then if they say, hey, listen, we want Jamal Adams, we'll give you 2 first-round picks, I got news for you. He's gone. I'd ship him too. You know what? I'm good with that. He's out. I understand, but just do it behind closed doors. If somebody says, hey, listen, what do you want from Le'Veon Bell? Give us a first-round pick, a second-round pick. Okay, here you go. You know what? He's out of here. I understand that, but just do it with not 8 guys in the media knowing about it. Because now the media knows about it, the fans know about it, the players know about it. All three is a problem.
Listen, again, we've talked about leaks, but like Jamal said, they're shopping him. If he's coming out and saying, he's got me to other teams that he knows.
He's too strong of a presence now. He's too strong of a guy.
That's what I'm saying.
He's too much of a locker room lawyer now, and Adam Gase doesn't like it. His personality is too big for Adam Gase. He's out of here.
He's gone. And so that's what I'm talking about. So it's like when you're saying, don't have the media. Dude, they're shopping him. So he's probably talked to more teams than we know. If Adams is coming out saying, hey, my agent told me that you talking to teams, you're shopping me, they're probably talking to more teams than we've even heard about. So, but look, I get it. You want to get capital, you want to try to move forward, but dude, there's other ways to build this team. You don't we see teams around the league do this, be able to have elite talent in certain spots and then continue to build around those spots.
Yeah, but the Jets don't have any building blocks. We don't have it. We don't have any of it though. We don't have it. We basically need 5 linemen.
You're telling me that you need 5 line, and you can do some of the work to help your offensive line in this upcoming offseason because we're going to have cash and you have a draft. But how is Le'Veon Bell not a building block for Sam? How is he not?
He's not going to be.
So you're telling me how much better?
He's a running back.
Huh?
You lost this year with him. You have next year, and then he's a free agent. Dude. If anything, you have him for 1 more year. Then he's going to leave on a contract anyway. He's going to leave. He's not coming back here. He ain't going to resign here. He's out of here. That dude is a triple threat. He's one of the best backs, if not the best back in the league. Some people consider him the best back in the league. You're sitting here telling me that you're going to get rid of him. You're taking a weapon away from Sam. Then what is he stuck with? If you're giving me a first and second round pick, I'm taking the picks. Absolutely.
Come on now. No, you must be crazy.
First and second round pick, I do it.
You're crazy, dude.
This year,
crazy,
I'm not
dude.
crazy at all. This year's already a waste, and next year he's going to be gone.
For a guy that the entire fan base yelled for the entire time last year, you got to get Le'Veon. We got to make sure that he signed. He's one of the best backs. Now you guys are talking about trading him, and he's the only guy on the team, on the offense that's putting it on week in and week out. You guys are crazy.
If you give me 2 high picks,
he'd
be gone.
You guys are nuts.
He'd be out here in a heartbeat.
I'm not even going to argue. That is ridiculous. That's just completely ridiculous. That is ridiculous. We are the only team that does stupid stuff like this. I almost cursed. We're the only team that does this. Every other team gets a great back like we have and builds around him so that he can continue to do his thing and get better at his game. What do? We trade the back off. This is unbelievable. That don't make no sense.
We're gonna go to. We got somebody's Dan in Howard Beach. We have so many people on hold. Dan, what's up, man?
This is crazy.
I just want to start off by saying I'm happy that Nigel isn't my boss because that would be like working for like a real life Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Like that happy villain type of thing. You're fired. Can he fire Adam Gase? I mean, we would all be like smiling.
Oh.
This is such a drama-infested franchise. It can never be about football. It can never be about wins and maybe building on our building blocks that we got with Le'Veon and Adams. It's never about that. It's always about some nonsense. And then when you see the actual product on the field, like, you want to be numb. You want to feel numb. Because I read on Twitter, I'm used to this, I'm numb. I can't get like that. It burns my freaking stomach every time I'm watching this garbage over and over. And again, let's start with Sam, right then and there. Oh, he's regressing. Of course he's regressing. Any quarterback would be regressing. Look at that filth of an offensive line. And listen, not for nothing. That offensive line that we had last year, I would rather have that offensive line than this piece of garbage right there. Because at least you could see some progression in the Green Bay Packer game, in the Houston Texan game, in the Buffalo Bill game. You saw progression when you kind of like protected Sam. But this guy, Gase, he couldn't care less. Look at the success that Tannehill's having in Tennessee. It's like a complete resurrection and whatnot. And it's garbage. And then after what Christopher Johnson said, and they got him caught on camera, how embarrassing is that? Man. How embarrassing. Oh, I hope they show up. Really? Yeah. So that's the common denominator, guys. We can go on and on and on. Gase is garbage, and Joe Douglas is another one that he doesn't get my trust yet. He doesn't get my trust because I need to see what he does in the offseason. But he's already starting off on the bad foot because he's endorsing Gase. So that means, you know what? 2020, guess who's coaching the team, guys? It's Boogie Eyes. That guy that's on Ritalin.
Look, and I want to thank you for calling in. You calling in with a bunch of fire, and I completely agree with you. But I want to get your thoughts on this, because when you look at the guys that are supposed to be traded, like Robbie, Jamal, Le'Veon, they're still here. I'm wondering, do you think that this locker room could become toxic because of the message that is being sent to some of the players that are still there?
It's completely fractured, completely. Because, yes, Le'Veon can come in with that positive energy, which I love, and all the Jet fans love it. Robbie comes in with that whole tweet that he sent out with the whole Wolf of Wall Street type of meme. Everybody loves it. But all you need is just one negativity, and a big loudmouth negativity guy who I always loved. I always loved Jamal Adams. I always liked him. But he wears his emotions on his sleeve. And he's upset with the GM. He's upset because, honestly, Tyson hit it on the head. Before the GM went to the press, he had to talk to all three of them, not 2 out of 3, not this fractionational nonsense. You had to go and talk to all three of them, tell them what the deal is, and, start filtering out all the nonsense that maybe his agent told him or whatnot. And then, all right, I'm going to go to the podium and I'm going to address the media. Adams had every right to say that. Personally, I didn't like it. Maybe to me, probably Adams is salty. Maybe he did initiate the trade. Maybe he did want to go to Dallas. And you know what? A part of me commends Joe Douglas for not pulling his trigger, because he's worth more than just a first-round pick. If you're going to trade him to Dallas, damn it, you better get a first-round pick and get Lyle Collins or Zach Martin.
He said one second. I just want to correct you. He said himself in a tweet that he did not want to. He told them he did not want to be traded, and he actually had a meeting with the general manager and told him he wanted to stay. So the rumors about him wanting to be traded to Dallas and that he came and told them that he wanted to be traded are completely false.
Completely, man. I just it's just a heartache, man, just to hear all this stuff,
You're right, man. Are you okay? You're usually like get a
nah, man.
surge or something.
This sucked the life out of me, man. It broke me. It's a done deal. And you know what, Joe, you hit it on the head, man. The off season, man. And you know what? You hit it on the head, bullseye. You had Gase figure out from day one, and you didn't let other people's emotions convince you, such as I.
Absolutely.
My initial reaction, which I should have stuck with, I was right here in my kitchen, flipping on Twitter, and I saw the Jets got Adam Gase as their next head coach. I flipped. I went psycho. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. At least give Matt Rule a chance. or go with a Super Bowl winning head coach, which a whole bunch of people are saying, you should have won more Super Bowls with Aaron Rodgers. Are you kidding? The guy fixed his mechanics. And then all of a sudden we get Adam Gase.
Just gross.
And then what do we do as fans? And it's, you know what? It's the same pattern, because a lot of the Jet fans, including myself, it's going to be the same thing in 2020 with Gase's head coach. We didn't have that great of an offensive line. Maybe if we draft an outside pass rusher, maybe if we get this, you know what? And then August comes, you know what? We might have a chance. September comes, here it is again. We off to a 1-7 start by friggin' November. Because he is what he is. He is a failed head coach. That's it. And that's who this scumbag, Christopher Johnson, had to say, you know what, I see something in you. What did he see?
Yep.
I don't know what he saw.
Dan, thanks for calling it, man. We appreciate it. And he's spot on, Joe. He's completely spot on. And this is the problem that I personally have. And I'll just say this. Like, listen, we're longtime fans. We bought into all these rebuilds. We bought into all this nonsense. We bought all this. And now if we have a fair and honest assessment of this team, we know next year we're going to suck. We already know we are going to suck next year because we have too many holes, too many problems, and too many needs, and now we're going to be sold on another 2-year plan. Like, we know next year we're not going to playoffs. We already know this now, Joe. In Halloween the year before, we already know we're not a playoff team. We already know it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We know. Next year we will suck. 2020, another year, another rebuilding year of no playoffs. Yeah. Go Jets. And I want to thank Dan for calling in.
But you know what the worst thing about it all is, because, like Dan said, I was never sold on Adam Gase, and I told everybody that would listen that he was garbage. The problem with having Gase here, if he's the coach going forward, which it looks to me, and I've told people I don't think he'll get fired after a year. I think he'll be at least here for at least year 2, if not year 3. Then you're having a coach that's coming in. If they do decide to go into another rebuild, we're putting these our rebuild in the hands of a coach that we know is not capable of coaching these guys. We're doing exactly what we did with Todd Bowles. That's literally what we're doing. Remember when I was saying, hey, we got to fire this guy, get this guy out of here. He shouldn't be in charge of our rebuild. He's not the coach. He's inadequate. He has no business having his hands on a rebuild going forward of our future, our players and their potential. You're giving Adam Gase future players and potential. We're already seeing what he's doing to Sam Darnold. We're already seeing what he's doing to the offense as a whole. He's regressing everyone's play on that offense. Everybody, with his awful calls, his awful game plans, all that stuff. Like I said, dude, he gave Le'Veon Bell, one of the best backs of our era, 12 touches yesterday. 12 touches. 12.
Yep.
So now we're gonna put this guy in charge of our rebuild if we're having one after this year? Man, please. He's gonna the lasting effects of Adam Gase can be long lasting, just like the effect of Todd Bowles was long lasting here. Just like the effects of Todd Bowles was long lasting. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but this could be worse.
It could be a gigantic mistake.
Could be worse. You destroy Sam Darnold. You ruin Sam Darnold and make him regress and give him happy feet and make him skittish. You're setting back your franchise 5 years, because now you got to give Sam at least another year or 2 to figure out what he is. Then you draft another quarterback, and then it's like, dude.
Well, that's the thing. He could be done right. Dude, he could be done after this season. There are things that you can put into Sam's DNA this season, getting hit a bunch and all that stuff, where he could just never reach his potential after this season because he's taking so many shots. And I've said it, and I pray that it doesn't happen. He could end up getting a real bad injury this season, a real bad one. You're seeing the shots that he's taking, Tyson, on a weekly basis. He's gotten hit a couple times this season where I honestly did not think he was going to get up, because he was getting hit so hard and so frequently. So that could happen this season. Completely ridiculous, and we're just watching it just continue on. And Chris Johnson just watches, just sitting back, just, hey, take shots. Don't need to protect him. Don't need to make sure that your QB that's still dealing with the mono-spleen stuff. Oh, no need to worry about protecting him. He can get hit, no problem. It's unreal.
We're going to go to our good friend Tyrone. Tyrone, what's up, man?
Yeah, what's going on, fellas? First of all, your man Nigel, bro, that's like the most retarded thing I've ever heard in my life. You want to trade Le'Veon Bell? Yo, and I don't want to pick on nobody, but I just got to call that out, bro. You want to trade Le'Veon Bell and Jamal Adams. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've been a Jet fan for over 35 years. If they would have traded Jamal Adams today, I was done. I was calling my Dallas people. I was like, "Yo, can I join the fan club?" I was gonna walk away. And I'm gonna tell you something else, man. Le'Veon Bell is nothing but a class act, man. And you know what? I'm gonna be real with you, man. And I'm gonna be dead serious with you. I hope that we go to Miami and get blown out, and I hope they fire Gates, because I cannot take this, bro. This is the worst organization in the NFL. I have been a fan for 35 years of this misery and pain, and it's the same thing over and over again. It's ridiculous how bad this organization is. I think as fans, real talk, we need to boycott the games. We need to get Gary V in here, bro, and keep it moving. There is no possible way on God's earth you can tell me it's the players. It's the coach. That's the problem. It's the coach. And we keep getting these bad coaches because we have bad leadership. And you know what I'm saying? We are rotten from ownership down, bro. This is horrible, man. Like you just alienated our whole locker room. You understand that, bro? We might not win another game this year, bro, because of this stupid stuff. How can you get this man another year? I wouldn't give him another week, man. I hope Miami blows the doors off us, bro. Hope they beat us 44-0, man. I'm telling you, bro, it's ridiculous. This is the worst it's ever been as a Jet fan.
Yeah, and Tyrone, listen, I want to thank you for calling in, man. I'm so thankful you did not curse, because I want to talk to you, bro. Because me and you connect on Twitter. Hey, me and you go back and forth, and I know you was mad about it, bro. I'm just about as mad as I want to cuss, man, so bad. And please don't, man, because I want to talk to you.
Nah,
I'm
not even mad. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not even mad, Joe. I'm not even mad. I'm not even frustrated. It's just, I am so used to this. And this is the problem with our whole fan base, man. We're so used to this dysfunction. This ain't normal, man. This ain't fair, bro. This is the worst organization in the NFL, man. I mean, you have a fan base that'll die hard, man. We go hard for ours, bro. And they kill us, bro. They give us nothing. You get us a franchise quarterback, you get the man killed. You get us the best running back in the game, you don't give him no touches. You have an offensive line that is absolutely atrocious. Yo, I saw something on Twitter today I want to tell you guys about. It was drafts from 2014, 15, and 16. Do you know out of this draft, I think there's 2 players still on the team. We're talking about 30 players. And out of 30 players, man, it's like, you have like 5 players left, man. This is why this organization sucks, bro. It sucks. This is the worst organization in the league, bro. And we love them. For what? And Nigel, I want to say something else to Nigel, too. Maybe you ain't good at dating, bro. Maybe it's you. I'm just saying. But go ahead.
Listen, look, and I saw that as well. And look, that again, I also think that people forget that the blame that McCagnon shares in this as well. Because if you look at the awful drafts, that's where you see the holes in this football team. And you brought up some of that stuff. You look at these drafts that he's had in the past, and they were completely trash. And that's why we're missing a lot of talent in spots where there should be. Because even though we were rebuilding, we never could really rebuild properly because of his bad drafting. But just staying here, and you're talking about Adam Gase and the bad coach. What are your thoughts on the way that he's getting Sam beat up out there, man? I mean, this guy's taking shots left and right, and the offensive game plan is making no adjustments to see that he's able to stay upright.
This is the problem, the whole issue right here, man. You have a franchise quarterback that, if given time and put in the right situation, the kid can be good. You watch the kid from last year, you know what I'm saying, and we had basically no offensive coordinator last year. Now you look at it this year, we have a worse offensive coordinator who's supposed to be a quarterback guru. No, that's the problem, man. We don't have offensive linemen. These guys are going through blocks. These guys can't protect. I mean, listen, the Patriots gave the formula, man. You rush them. Listen, bro, we've been going with this, letting the free rusher run all season long, bro. I've been talking about this, bro, from week 1. This makes no logical sense, man. I mean, this is the worst I've ever seen it as a team, bro. Listen, you have a quarterback. The Sam could actually be a really good quarterback in this league. But if you don't have the proper guidance for Sam and you don't put this guy in a winning situation, what you think is going to happen, man? You're going to beat this man up. He's going to be the same way as my man that was in Houston a couple years ago, and then it's done. Then we're looking for another quarterback. Why not protect this guy? Why do we have Jamal Adams, who's all heart? hating and want to be here, bro. That's ridiculous, man. You wanna trade away Jamal for what? Listen, listen, bro. You fix nothing by subtraction, bro. Nothing. You gonna subtract Le'Veon Bell, Robbie Anderson, and Jamal Adams. You gonna tell me we're gonna be a better team? You gonna tell me right now we'll be a better team? No. Why we subtract Adam Gase to see what happens?
It's gonna happen after the season's over. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna. Jamal Adams is as good as gone. He's as good as gone.
Tyson, you already know it's done. But this is the problem I'm talking about. You just ran out of town a kid that's a Pro Bowler that's all heart who wants to be here. You just ran him out of town. This is the organization we got. So what you want to get? You're going to get a first-round draft choice, so you trade with Dallas. It's going to be, 25, 26? We don't pick good players anyway, Tyson. So why does it matter? You know what I'm saying? You want to let Robbie walk? You want to trade Robbie for a fourth-round draft pick? That makes logical sense to you? Now, listen, I understand the Leo thing, and to be honest with you, I didn't like that trade. But it came out pretty good because it's 3rd and 5. You know what I'm saying? But now, you're just going to get Quentin Williams double team. You know what I'm saying? This is the logic behind this. So you want to clear everything out, and you want to rebuild. Yo, listen, man, I am so sick of the word rebuild. I'm tired of it, bro. We've been rebuilding, bro, for 10 seasons. I mean, it makes no sense.
We lead the league in rebuild.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if this is any other organization, man, I was like, man, they're garbage. Yo, I had my man tell me, he's like, yo, bro, you can't talk about my Redskins. I said, I know, because I think that we took your place. Joe Douglas is not going to fix everything. He's not going to fix this in one free agency, in one draft.
It's impossible. No way. It's impossible.
Now you have just alienated anybody who thought about coming here. Bro, ain't nobody coming here, dog. Listen, KO gets hurt, you won't give him surgery. Makes no. Why would you even want him to play if you don't want to play? That makes no sense. To really get Sam murdered. Then on top of that, you trade away your best defensive player. You try to trade away for nothing, for no reason, because you want to rebuild because your coach sucks. How about Joe Douglas? Why don't you grab your balls, man, and be a man, bro, and say, look, Gates, yo, you ain't doing your job, bro. You got to go. Let Greg Williams take over, man, and figure this thing out, bro. Because the way it's looking, man, this is going to be a miserable 3 or 4 years. You're going to waste away Sam's rookie contract. Jamal's going to leave. Marcus May is going to want to leave. Double J is going to leave.
Yep.
Then you're going to get a whole bunch of players in here. You think I'm really going to believe? Listen, this is why this organization is so stupid. You're going to fire your GM, but you let him pick all your free agents. That's retarded. That's retarded. That's retarded.
But see, Tyrone, it gets worse. But Tyrone, it gets worse. What gets worse is after 7 weeks, we already know Adam Gase is bad. We know we're going in the wrong direction. What makes this even worse is you're letting him determine the future of this organization. You're letting him weed out this roster. That's the biggest problem of all of this. He is going to be one of your final decision makers, the guy that's willing to ship out all this talent. That's the biggest problem you're going to have.
And why they pull the Arizona, bro? Look, okay, we made a mistake. Okay, bro, you're out of here. Bro, listen, man.
Yep.
Listen, this is the problem with me being a Jet fan, man. I love this team, man. And now I'm telling you today, man, I was just about done. And the reason I said, man, I can't take this no more, dog. I can't live forever. I'm going to have to leave this place one day. Can I please? Bro, I just want to see a productive team for years. Like, why can't we be like the Colts, man? You know what I'm saying? I understand you want to get some good players in here, change things around, move in the right direction. I don't want to be the Andrew Luck. I don't want Sam Darnold to be like, look, man, I can't take no more injuries, bro. I'm out of here. You got the man out there with his toenail gone, his thumb bruised for the rest of the season, behind the offensive line. Bro, listen, I've never seen an offensive line this bad, bro. They are horrible. They are horrible.
Yep.
Have we ever seen this? You think, hey, listen, I'm telling you right now, bro, we're going to lose to Miami, and I'm going to be happy.
Six guys can't block 4. That's amazing. It's truly amazing.
Tyson, no, Tyson.
6 guys,
Tyson,
not 5.
Rushing. Yep. Tyson, I watched them rush 3, Tyson, and get home.
Exactly. Yep.
And get home. Listen, Tyson, I've watched this team in max protection. And the Patriots in 4. You got 6 guys blocking 4. And you still get Sam sacked. Man, this is ridiculous. But this is what we have to look forward to. So all I'm saying is this, man, as Jet fans, what we going to do? Because I'm tired, bro. Like, I don't have too much of this in me. I can't do this, bro. This is the worst I've ever felt as a Jet fan.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka.
And that's it.
Sorry.
That's the whole plan. Fellas, I just want to tell y'all, man, I love this show. I didn't curse. Boy, did I want to.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yo, Jets fans, I love y'all, man.
Tyrone.
Yes, sir. I'm drinking my vodka right now.
Take flight. Good night. All right, Joe, we're going to stay on the very busy phones. I guess we're going to bring on I'm just going to warn you right now, Joe. I'm going to warn you. If he mentions the same take that he mentions on Twitter on the show, he's going to get a 1 minute just blasting from me. So I'm going to this is the warning. This is the warning. Do not bring that ice cold take to this show. Do not bring it, Joe. I will roast him. And then I'll hang up on him. Just so he knows. That's the warning, Joe. Bring on Steve. I'm telling you right now, Joe, if this ice cold take comes on, Joe, he's got no chance. He's got none. He won't even get a word out.
Man, I got faith in Steve. He usually brings the fire. So let's hear it. I already know he's bringing the fire. So let's go, Steve.
What's up, guys? I know this is a very frustrating night and a frustrating day, with the whole crazy-ass thing with the trade deadline. The thing is that it's just, I'm just going to start with Adam Gase. It's just, my God, he sucks as a coach. And you know what, to this day, I just wish back in January, and I know, Joe, you were saying this too, we should have hired Mike McCarthy. And you know what? There were times when I did stick up for Mike McCagnon. I can't stick up for him anymore. It's just he hires the wrong coach when he was our GM, and it's like, and then of course Adam Gase is like today, so like talking about our offensive line, and it didn't make any sense at all, one bit. And listen, the thing was today was, listen, when I was hearing about the whole thing with the whole thing with Jamal Adams and Le'Veon being traded. I mean, and first of all, that guy Nigel who was on just recently, I have no idea what the hell he was talking about, because Jamal Adams and Le'Veon Bell are like one of the two prize people of this team. Le'Veon with the offense and Jamal with the defense. At the same time, though, it's just right now it's a direction that the Jets are not supposed to be in, but it's honestly looking in that direction. It's just I just can't go through with it again, with the whole thing with the rebuild. I mean, it just sucks, right now being a Jets fan. So, guys, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So it sucks being a Jets fan. So what is your biggest concern going forward with this team?
It's just, the thing is, with these games coming up, hopefully, that they'll find a way to hopefully compete. I mean, the thing was, too, the game in Jacksonville, I mean, after when Jacksonville scores the opening touchdown, the Jets answer right back. But as soon as when Darnold threw that interception, and honestly, I'm not going to blame Darnold for that interception, mostly like for that first interception. I kind of blame Robbie Anderson, too, because Robbie Anderson gave up on that play.
I mean, I agree with that. Robbie Anderson could get a ball. Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, look, listen, first off, Steve, thank you for calling in. I knew you were going to bring the fire. I don't know what they're talking about because your takes are always pretty much spot on, and they're always crisp. So I already knew what you was going to bring. So don't even worry about Tyson bothering you. I don't even know what he's talking about. But, look, I'm right there with you. You look at the interceptions that Sam was throwing. I think what we're starting to see out of Sam, especially since he's getting pressure a lot, he's getting hit a lot, I think he's playing a lot of hero ball. And if you look at, a lot of people that talk about football or analyze football and things like that, they'll tell you a lot of, especially when quarterbacks are in situations where they feel like they're pressing to make a play. They're doing whatever they can to try to get their offense moving down the field. They'll throw up balls that is not supposed to be there. do things they're not supposed to do, get out of character within the offense because they're just trying to do anything to get the ball out. And I think that those were what those 3 interceptions were that we saw. And, I mean, Adam Gase himself even took credit for the bad play calls and 1 or 2 of the interceptions as well. So, look, Sam to me looked pretty good out there. There's a lot of things, a lot of good to take from him in his play, even though he's getting pressured. But you can't just keep getting him hit like this every single game.
No.
That's
and
what I
want
to
to
ask.
thing, Joe,
are you surprised
Joe,
about the lack of adjustments and how he keeps getting hit?
Yeah, and Joe, listen, that was the thing that I have been saying. I'm going to say this again. In the NFL today, on your offense, after your quarterback, it is your offensive line. They have to protect. Because if they're not going to protect, you guys saw, I mean, Darnold got sacked, 8 times on Sunday against Jacksonville? And the thing is that you got to protect, because if you're not going to protect your quarterback, whether your quarterback sucks or your quarterback is amazing, that's how you're going to lose games, because sacks hurt in games. And the thing is that you just don't know like what the hell's going on. And the thing is that just blows my mind still. It's just, oh my God, I hate Adam Gase so much. God, I still can't believe we hired him in January. God, I hate you, Mike McCagan, and honestly, I hate you, Christopher Johnson, for this. I just
so much hatred.
I just wish,
what are your thoughts on Joe Douglas?
You know, I can't really say anything about Joe Douglas at the moment. I mean, the thing is, though, the thing that did get me upset about him today was the whole thing with the Jamal Adams situation. If we honestly did trade Jamal Adams, I would have been heartbroken. And the thing is, though, I mean, I need to see what happens with him in the 2020 offseason coming up.
So wait a minute. You think the way he handled Osemele was okay?
No, it was not okay.
Okay, so that's one strike. Do you agree with how he handled the trade deadline? With the leaks in the organization?
No,
okay.
no. Honestly,
then how do you not have an opinion? I've already gave you 2 things.
No, it's just, the thing is, though, it's just frustrating. I mean, and the thing is, like, he's got to, like you said, Tyson, he's got to learn to do things like behind closed doors. It's just, you know, the thing is,
there's leaks in the organization.
Everything is frustrating.
This is a goddamn Mickey Mouse organization right now. It's a Mickey Mouse organization. They handle it. It is. Like, how many friggin' times you got to be embarrassed by incompetence? Like, the basic friggin' things. Your player needs surgery. They play this freaking game that's going to alienate free agents. You look like a jackass for that. They file a grievance, and they're going to lose the lawsuit. Good job with that.
Yeah, and
you have leaks in your organization. You look stupid during the trade deadline. Like, you're watching your head coach destroy. Your head coach is destroying your franchise quarterback, and you're making excuses for it. Give me a break already.
And the thing, and you know what? The other thing that's just frustrating me too about Adam Gase is, and this is honestly kind of like the situation that we had when Todd Bowles was our coach, and that was watching Adam Gase almost every single week, besides the game against the Cowboys, was that watching him getting out-coached every game. I can't watch like that anymore. Like,
dude, there was a time. There's a time in the game last week where Sam took a delay of game, and the Jets had timeouts left. He took a delay of game. Like, usually the head coach would call timeout and bail him out. Like, hey man, we got to save you here. No.
Yeah,
dude,
no.
Give me a break with this guy. This guy's a fraud. It's a joke.
No, I know. And no, listen, Tyson, I agree with you. Adam Gase sucks. And I really, even though I don't think this is going to happen, I just really hope that after when the season is done that he gets fired.
Steve, have a good night, man.
You too, man. Good night.
Steve brought the
This
fire.
show's been crazy.
Steve brought the fire. I don't know
many...
what you was talking about, but
Dude,
Steve brought the fire.
You know what he brought the fire
Steve.
for? Because I gave him a warning. He was going to bring some cold-ass take to the show. We've been roasted. I'll tweet it to you. Don't worry. I'll retweet that thing. I'll retweet it. Primetime saw it. Primetime actually begged him. Primetime begged him to tell me. He begged him. Yeah, don't worry. I'll just copy and paste right to your timeline. Don't you even worry about that. We're gonna go to Zach and Chris Smith.
Shout out to Steve.
What's up, Zach? How you doing, man?
What's going on, guys?
Oh, you know, just living this Jets dream here.
Unbelievable. I mean, first off, thank you for taking my call. But just, the other callers calling in, I mean, Nigel, that guy's dumb as a rock. I'm sorry. But, like, you're telling me you want to get rid of Jamal Adams, Le'Veon Bell. I mean, these are the core guys. These are the guys that set the tone week in, week out. And you're telling me happen, you want these guys
It's going to happen.
You know who
wants
going to
done?
happen.
Adam Gase wants it.
Jamal.
Done. That's who wants. Look,
Adam Gase
the one
wants
thing
it
about
done?
Adam Gase, but dude, the one thing about Adam Gase in the time in Miami is he doesn't like locker room lawyers. He doesn't like prominent guys in the locker room. He doesn't like a loud voice. He wants to be the voice. And Jamal Adams and him are not going to get along. Add in the losing, add in the problems. Jamal's going to be gone. Le'Veon's going to be gone because he didn't want him in the first place. Dude, you could see it. Like, it may not have happened today on October 29th. I guarantee you in March they're gone. They're both going to be gone. You can see it already.
But that's the question. It's like, okay, but if we look at the results of what happened in Miami and we're going down that same path, why are you giving this idiot that much power? What did he do in Miami that even warrants him to be able – what did he do in Miami that even warrants him to come here and do
I'm
those
not saying
things?
It's
or
right,
even have
Joe.
any say
I'm not
at all?
saying what they're going to do is right.
I know, but
it's going to happen.
That.
Like, the writing's on the wall for all this nonsense. We're going to have this same show in April be like, I can't believe they just did this. And we're like, you know what? I told you so, because we could see it. We could see who they're going to ship out, what kind of guys he wants to bring in here, and we're going to be like, here we go, 3 years of just complete chaos.
Yeah. Right. No, I agree with you guys are saying, but also, Shannon Sharp tweeted out, I think it was last week, Adam Gase is going to let Sam Darnold get him fired, just like Ryan Tannehill did in Miami. I mean, guys, that's pretty darn true. That's going to happen. I mean, that is so going to happen, and we're watching that. And, I mean, this is just typical Jets. And, I mean, you can't really.
I think this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's the other way. I want to thank you for calling. I think it's the other way around. I think Sam Darnold is getting killed by Adam Gase. That's who's going to get Adam Gase fired. It's not
He shouldn't
Sam
even be
that's
playing
out there.
Sam
Listen,
Darnold.
No, he should be playing Sam Darnold, but he doesn't understand how to set up an offense that will benefit Sam Darnold. That's the problem. He doesn't know how to set up an offense that'll benefit anybody. If you look statistically, his offense has never been good outside of the year that he played with Peyton Manning. Hell, we got a bottom-feeding offense this year. I think we're dead last in damn near everything. I talked about that when we first hired him. All this, offensive guru, that's a mirage. He's never been that. He's never been that. You can go look it up. He has never been that. I think the year that he even made the playoffs that year with the Dolphins, their offense was like 24th. It wasn't even that great that year, and I think the defense was 29th. He was damn lucky to do that year. He sucks. It is not Sam Darnold. Everywhere he's been, he sucks. His offense has sucked. So he comes here after we watched Sam Darnold play pretty decently with Jeremy Bates, and now Sam Darnold's at floor. We can't figure out what this kid is. He's getting hit left and right. It's not Sam Darnold, guys. It's not Sam. It's Adam Gase. You can look at other players on this offense that are struggling as well. Guys like Le'Veon Bell. Look at him. This guy was a hell of a back before he came here. Now the guy's getting hit. I think 93% of his yards after catch are now with contact. 93% of his yards are coming after contact. That's completely ridiculous. What does that tell you? That tells you that the offense is getting him touched before he can go. There's no open nothing. It's because the offensive scheme sucks. It sucks. Adam Gase sucks, and that's the problem. And there's a lack of adjustments, and that's what I want to ask you about, the lack of adjustments there offensively. What are your thoughts about that?
To be honest, this is just it's typical Gase. This team doesn't change week in, week out. Us Jets fans, we die week in watching this team. It saddens me to even turn on a TV because I already know that once the Jets get a touchdown, they're going to fumble every other play, or they'll punt, or it'll be a quick 3-and-out. Like, there's no positivity. You can have all these guys, Le'Veon Bell, Jamal Adams, all bring out all the positivity. But in the grand sense of things, it's like, they're going to screw up. This is the New York Jets. They are going to somehow mess up. It's just that it's just the nature. And, I really feel that, this team's not going to really change until they bring in a guy like, Gary V or somebody just to change the whole brand of this Jets organization. It's just,
but
it's
that's
just
never
bad right now.
It's never going to happen, dude. Zach, thanks for calling in, man. The problem is, listen, I know almost every fan's going to say the same thing. Oh, we got to change owners. It's not happening. The Johnsons are not selling the team, so we're stuck with them. Now it's like you got to hope that Joe Douglas has some kind of power and some kind of ability to either fire Adam Gase or Chris Johnson gets a clue. Like, Joe, and the thing is, you try to think of it like, listen, we're passionate fans. Like, all right, I get it. But as a businessman, like Chris Johnson is a successful businessman. You look at your return on your investment. The Jets just spent all this money on Bell and Mosley and Osemele, all this money they spent, and they're 1-6 and going in the wrong direction. Like, they're not getting anything on their return. So just from a business perspective, Chris Johnson's got to be like, you got to be like, hey, man, why are we losing? Like, they're literally going to be losing money because the stadium's going to be half empty or full of the other opposing fans. Nobody's going to be buying jerseys. Nobody's going to be buying anything. You're a laughingstock. And then I'll say it again. When you sit in a press conference and you watch your head coach say, we added more blockers and it gave us less protection, I'd be like, dude, he's the wrong guy. He's the wrong guy for the job. Simple as that. The wrong guy for the job. He has to be fired.
Dude.
Like what? Like how hard is this? This isn't rocket science, man.
They are clueless, dude. They are clueless, Tyson. These are the same dudes that allowed Mike McCagnon to spend up all that money in free agency and draft knowing that they were going to fire him. They knew that they were going to fire him before he'd even did all that stuff. Think about how idiotic that is.
We are years away. We are years away from being good again. Years.
You allowed this guy to not only select your next head coach, and mind you, he was in survival mode. That's the only reason Gase is here, is because he didn't want to control it at 53. He allowed you to just pick his coaches. He didn't care
he lied about
because
all
he was
that.
just trying to get in somewhere. Yeah, of course he did. He just lied to get in, but he didn't care because he didn't have power. He just got fired. You allowed this dude to select your head coach. Then you allowed him to select all those players in free agency. Then you allowed him to draft yet again, even though you were going to fire him because of his horrible free agency signings and his horrible drafts. You allowed him to do all those things to literally continue to propel your team for the future, continue to make bad decisions for your team for the future, and then you went, well, I'm going to fire you because you're a bad decision maker. Why you let him make all them damn decisions in the first place? That is the type of ownership that we have. So when you're sitting back and going, we're 1-6, why is it going on? What do you think these guys don't give a damn. That's the only thing you can say about the Giants. They do not care. Otherwise, we'd be in a much better situation.
Like if you're an owner and you watch Adam Gase in the press conference today, basically take no accountability for these trade rumors. I know nothing about them. Dude, come on, man. Like you're seriously going to play this game? You're going to act like you're just naive to all this? Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, Joe, he's pushing all accountability away from himself. Like, hey, man, this losing's not my fault. The players aren't executing. They're not following the practice plan. I can't take it. I can't.
Tyson,
I'm throwing things left and right, man. I can't stop throwing things.
I just don't break everything in your house now. You got to live there. Keep in mind, you got to live there, all right? Don't break everything. But listen, Tyson, everything that you're saying is stuff that we've seen from Adam Gase before, dude. This is not the first time. Surprise, Adam Gase. This is who he's been.
But what is Chris Johnson doing? Like, how did he sit there in his office and watch this and be like, hey, man, this is cool.
Man,
my $1 billion franchise is going right to hell, but
Tyson,
I'm cool with this.
Tyson, if you gave a damn about the $1 billion franchise, you wouldn't have hired Adam Gase in the first place. There were much better selections out there. There were much better choices. There were guys that were much better off than Adam Gase. Him doing that stuff at the press conference, acting stupid, pushing blame somewhere else instead of – that's all classic Adam Gase. He did that in Miami. He's done that everywhere he's been. Nothing new. Everything we've seen out of Adam Gase, everything that they saw in Miami, everything that we saw as well just watching Miami, this is nothing new. This is Adam Gase. Nothing new.
Go to Mike in Jersey City. What's up, Mike?
What's up, guys?
Dude, I know you're angry as hell because I just – the more I think about this, I just can't – I have, like, venom in my body now. Like, I just want to I can't take it anymore. I really can't take it. This team has finally broken me where I'm just furious now.
But it's like I guess I want to do two things. I want to decipher right now the tweets from Jamal Adams because, my friend, he had a point Granted, he's a Giants fan, but he had a point. He said, it seems a little fishy to me that it conveniently Jamal posted all of that 2 hours post, the trade deadline, post the trade deadline. And so why didn't, obviously the rumors of him being Jamal is constantly on Twitter. He's constantly on social media. I'm sure he's been following this whole thing the entire day. So same with Le'Veon Bell. So in the scenario that had he actually been traded to the Cowboys, I mean, what is he actually then tweeting? I feel like our fan base, regardless of how many leaks there are, we're still so left in the dark. Especially after this Osamele debacle, I truly don't know what to believe because so Adam Gase, Douglas, and Jamal all had a sit down. For all I know, they literally could have had a sit down and said, "Hey, we see you're frustrated. You deserve better. If we're most likely going to get calls on you, and we'll shop you." And this entire day is a complete cover-up. I literally do not know what to believe, and so obviously it goes to show the ineptitude of the franchise. But I also have to say this with the protocol and how it went about. I think we do have to give Joe Douglas a little bit of leniency because everyone's forgetting it's his first GM job. Literally his first one. So we have to give him some leniency there. But it's just hey, I just don't know what to believe. Right now, I think Jamal Adams, just his body language the entire season, and he's fed up with his team. There's no doubt about it. And as you're saying, Tyson and Joe, it's inevitable now that he's going to be traded in April, probably now, where I do believe we could probably get better offers or a better trade deal. But yeah, and it doesn't make any sense now to keep these guys. But today, as for what went down today, I truly have no idea what to believe. I think our fan base is completely.
I want to thank you for calling in. I don't understand. Look, if Jamal is telling you out of his own mouth, I don't understand why you would necessarily believe the Jets. They have a long track record of lying. Telling blatant lies. Remember when, hey, we're not going to fire Mike McCagnon? We don't know where those reports are coming from. We love Mike. He's a good guy. Remember Adam Gase stood up on the podium? We're working together well. And they fired his ass a month after that. And there were leaks and reports, all that stuff. When you got literally Adam saying, hey, look, I did not ask for a trade. I told them I wanted to stay here, but my agent told me yesterday I was being shopped. This guy is coming out publicly. So, yes, that's what happened, point blank, period. But my problem is this, is that, to me, look, I get it. You want to build the rest of the team, but there's other ways to do that. When you got guys that are building blocks like this, and not just guys that want to be here to get paid, because we've seen that in the past, where we had players that were just here, and they were just here for a check. These guys want to be Jets. I've never seen. How many times have we had that want to be Jets? They want to be here. They want to turn it around with us. These are two guys, Le'Veon Bell, Jamal Adams. They love the fan base, and so when you're talking about getting rid of those guys, I could see that having an impact in the locker room, especially when you don't trade them, and I could see that getting toxic. Could you see the same thing?
Right, and I agree, and I want them here too. So, as fans, seriously. After tonight, after the show, this is also what I want to say. Look in the mirror. We're kind of the clowns here. We go week in and week out complaining about this team, but the fan base still attends these games, whether or not by the week they're getting more and more of the opponent, the away fans coming in. But people still buy this. They still buy into it. And it's just it's gotten to a point where, especially after today, as we're going to see friction within the locker room and, a divide without a doubt, it's just whose side are we going to choose? We are so desperate to have Gase fired. And personally, for me, that's my straw going into next season, because I can't possibly fathom, as you said, Joe, that this guy is going to be literally the captain of the ship at rebuilding this franchise. That's the biggest joke. He, like you said, he used Le'Veon Bell 12 times on Sunday. How do we have to spell it out for Chris Johnson? You just paid this guy $60 million, and the guy you hired is averaging, using him average like 10 times a game in 4 quarters. That's the most ridiculous. I like if you put him on any other team right now, the way that we would see Le'Veon Bell utilized, I mean, we'd shoot ourselves. I don't know what else to do. We need to, the media truly needs to jump on Adam Gase and just, and also with Christopher Johnson, at first I thought it was refreshing to hear him say that, hey, hopefully at least they show up or whatever he said. But, who am I? I'm kidding myself. He's not going to act on it. He's gonna get swept off his feet by Joe Douglas. Oh, this is a process. We know what he's doing. As soon as April comes around, it's just this team is truly a lost cause. We're worse than the Redskins. We're worse than the Browns. There's nothing to salvage from this season. Darnold is regressing, and to be perfectly honest with you, when we drafted Darnold and Todd Bowles was still the head coach, I could have told you, what does that do? What does that honestly do? When we were going to draft Darnold, Todd Bowles needed to be fired. We needed to hire a coach that knew what he was going to do, that was going to develop this game. And now here we are, a year in 2019 with Adam Gase as the head coach and Loggins as the offensive coordinator. I mean, seriously, any kid with a PS4 controller and Madden could be more useful than Loggins. Okay, I mean, this is this franchise. We just literally showed everyone how much of a joke we are, and our fan base is just week in and week out having to succumb to this joke. And we really need. The Dolphins did it. The fan base did it. They were, 2012. They revolted. We need to do the same thing. I mean, this is ridiculous now. It can't get any worse. Mike Greenberg, I think, is actually going to run up on the Johnson's house or Adam Gase's house, and if he needs a ride, I'm there for it. Mike Greenberg is gonna have a stroke. Okay, I mean, this is unreal what's going on right now. I personally don't know who to believe. I think you're right, Joe, with Jamal. Robbie won me over again, with that tweet, the Wolf on Wall Street tweet. That was great. And like you said, they all want to be Jets. But I personally, I wouldn't. Okay, we signed Le'Veon Bell.
But Mike, here's the deal. They all want to be Jets for now. Once this season ends, Robbie can be like, you know what? Show me the money or I'm out of here. And you know what? If you're going to act like this, I want more money than anybody else can offer me. They can say whatever they want now. They have 9 more games to be here, and then they can all abandon ship because they don't want to deal with Adam Gase anymore. Simple as that. If you're a free agent, why come back? Robbie hits a free agent market, he's going to be gone.
Absolutely. But I'm sure that's kind of like what I'm saying. So some people were saying they're jumping ship if these guys were traded, but I agree with them on. I don't think you trade a guy like Adams. Okay, Le'Veon Bell. I mean, they completely screwed that contract. And let's be honest, we know he'd be better utilized somewhere else. I mean, when I heard the tweets, when I heard the rumors of the Chiefs were in on it, or obviously whatever pretend that was, I was like, you know what? That actually doesn't sound bad. Hey, we're probably going to get a steep price for Le'Veon. Okay, yeah, we're going to have to unfortunately eat some dead cap space, but then we go and send this guy to Kansas and help possibly that team beat the Patriots come playoff time. So in that sense,
Mike. Have a good night, man. Listen. I can give a rat's ass. I honestly do not care about being the Patriots and having the Patriots lose. I don't care about that at all. I just do not. Just don't. What in the living? We get to that point now? Jesus Christ! Oh my God.
I want to thank him for calling in. Look, I'm not interested in helping anybody. I don't give a damn about any other team except my team, except the Jets. Look, you guys got to keep in mind, the reason why we went and signed a guy like Le'Veon is because we've had so much of an issue getting explosive offensive talent in here, getting elite offensive talent in here. Okay, that was the reason why we wanted this guy. That's the reason why. I mean, there was fans that campaigned for him the entire year that he sat out. We're screaming, we better sign Le'Veon. That's one of the reasons why Mike McCagnon gave him the money, because if he didn't, they probably would have fired his ass on the spot. I mean, he got the axe anyway. but he at least thought bringing in Bell was going to keep him from getting axed. So why are we now getting rid of one of the greatest backs in the history of the NFL? And that's not me making that up. That's real. Why are we getting rid of him in his prime? For what? We should be doing the opposite. We should be building around him, continuing to keep him as a piece and a building block here for Sam and moving forward. We shouldn't be getting rid of elite talent. We should be building around it. This is unbelievable. This is stupid, but that to me, again, it reeks of Adam Gase because this is something that he does. He gets rid of elite talent that's around him. He did it in Miami, and again, his system. One of the things that people talk about with his trash ass offensive system is that it doesn't need backs like Le'Veon Bell. It doesn't need superstar backs, so you can get rid of them. That's one of the reasons why he got rid of Jay Ajayi so fast. But that doesn't mean that you because you can't utilize Le'Veon Bell and the special type of talent that he doesn't mean you get rid of him. That means we should get rid of your ass. Because if you look at the teams that was like Mike said before he got out of here, the teams that he was linked to, the teams that were looking to trade for, Kansas City, that's Andy Reid. The Texans, that's O'Brien over there. They know how to coach. They know how to utilize offensive talent. That's why their offenses move the ball. So it's no surprise that those guys would be in the market sniffing around saying, hey, if you want to give up Le'Veon Bell, I'll be right here for it. That tells you something. If you got teams calling around the rest of the league and they value this guy, clearly that should give you a hint or two that maybe you need to do more with him. But you want to keep trash-ass Adam Gase around, you go ahead and do that. This entire team will suffer.
We're going to go to Reynaldo. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, boys? Long show today.
This show's just been chaos, man. This team will bring out the ugly in everybody. This is just beyond frustrating. So what do you think, man? What are your concerns? Are you concerned about Gase, Douglas, Chris Johnson? What bothers you?
I mean, I'm pretty concerned with the Johnson because the fact that Adam Gase isn't fired already, bro, like, it annoys me, honestly. He's so bad. Like, he literally says every week in the press conference, we didn't do the same stuff we did in practice. So isn't that coaching? So, like, you're coaching the players at practice, and they're not doing the same things they're supposed to be doing at practice on the field. Something's off there. I mean, Greg Williams these last 2 weeks, I don't know, this guy is a blitzaholic. He has a problem. Like, dude, it's not getting there. Calm down. Stop sending free rushers everywhere. We don't have pass rushers. I mean, who would have ever thought would be 1-6 right now? This is pathetic. This is just pathetic.
Well, yeah, and look, I want to thank you for calling in. I hear you. You know, you're talking about Greg Williams and his blitz, but he's got to do something because we ain't got no pass rushers. We ain't got no pass rushing. I know a lot of fans that are ready to get after Quinnen Williams. I'm hearing it, and I'm seeing it, talking about, hey, where's Quinnen at? Wasn't he supposed to be the interior pass rush? Wasn't he supposed to be one of the guys who's getting there? Wasn't one of the reasons why we drafted him so high because, hey, he was bringing immediate impact? And I hear it because I was one of the guys that was screaming for Josh Allen. And, you know, I'm willing to give Quinnen more time. I'm not all over Quinnen, but there are some fans that are definitely all over him and after him, man, for sure. But I want to get your thoughts on this. You're talking about our offense and the struggles that we had there. Are you surprised that there's no adjustments to keep Sam Darnold from getting beat up so much?
No, I'm not surprised. You know why? Because Adam Gase thinks he's a genius. And he's not. He's just not. Like, the guy thinks he's so clever. He's so smart that he knows what the defense is going to do before they even do it. He doesn't know anything. He has Sam Darnold in an empty set. I mean, defensive linemen must be just licking their chops. I can't wait to get there. It makes no sense. This dude said, like you guys said, he put in more blockers, a tight end, running back, and it was worse. The offensive line coach should have been fired like week 2. I mean, the fact that he's not fired yet is like a mystery I never will solve. Because he can't have anyone. These guys are getting paid millions of dollars, by the way. These are not bums. These are not guys who are like high school football players. These are professional football players, and they cannot block. I mean, someone needs to get punched in the mouth. Someone do something. Greg Williams, you're used to, getting guys wound up. Do something. I mean, This is pathetic.
You know, Reynaldo, what the funny thing is? This was an excellent point. I forgot who made it on TV, but I think it may have been Bart Scott. And he was like, listen, he goes, you have your offensive line just getting gouged endlessly, 5 blockers, 4 blockers, or 6 blockers, jumbo package. He's like, why doesn't Adam Gase go to Greg Williams and be like, how are these guys getting through? What are ways for us to defend this? If you have an innovative defensive guy that knows all the blitz packages.
Exactly. Imagine Adam Gase.
But why not? It's a legitimate question. Why wouldn't Adam Gase go to him and be like, how do you fix this? That's a legitimate question.
If you think that Adam Gase is going to anybody and asking anybody any questions, I'm sorry, you are confused about who Adam Gase is. Why hasn't Adam Gase gone to Le'Veon Bell and said, hey, listen, I know you were at the Steelers for a while. You were really successful there. What did you guys do there, to utilize you in certain ways that I can do here with my
it's more about the line play. If you have,
I understand.
You have the line struggling, saying, listen, how do you defend this? How can we fix this? And then if nobody's getting held accountable, like Reynaldo said, like how does the offensive line coach keep his job? Like it's been week after week they're saying, we're not sure what the problem is. We're not sure what the problem is. Well, then fire somebody.
Tyson, he's not. I'm telling you, that's not what Gase does. Gase don't ask no questions. He don't do none of that stuff. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're not utilizing Le'Veon Bell correctly. Then you've been having these issues with the offensive line all year. You're not utilizing Le'Veon Bell correctly. He's got other offensive line. Why is he going to Jim Bob Cooter? That guy used to be an offensive coordinator with the Lions. They was throwing the ball all over the place out there with Stafford. Do you think he goes to Cooter and goes, hey, look, is there anything that I can do better maybe with the scheme to kind of better what I'm doing out here, throw the ball a little bit better? What do you see? Do you think he's doing that? No. That's why the offensive game plans are the exact same. That's why we're talking about the same thing every week. We're talking about Sam Darnold not being protected every week. I don't think there's been a week that we have come on here and said, hey, what about the free rushers that's coming off the edge? We saying that every week. Every week we're talking about guys being unblocked. Every week we're talking about the lack of adjustments. Every week we're talking about how we're not scoring points. Every week we're questioning Adam Gase and the offensive genius. Every single week we're doing that consistently, no matter who the quarterback is, no matter who the team we play is. Am I lying?
No, you're just speaking true facts. The fact that our special teams is so bad. Our special teams.
Special teams? We're worried about special teams.
I mean, there is
not. I don't have the energy for special teams. They're the least of my concerns.
They can't help anything.
Oh, my God.
There's a flag every time we touch the ball. This team is a joke.
Reynaldo, have a good night, man. I can't even joke. I'm sorry. I don't even have the strength for special teams talk right now. After the lack of pass rush, the blown assignment, guys running all over the place, Sam Darnold getting killed, wasting timeouts, bad penalties. I don't even have the time to even think about special teams at this point. I can't even fathom it.
Yeah,
Jesus
look,
Christ.
I'm going to thank Reynaldo for calling in. I don't want to talk about burials. I don't want to talk about that. Please, I'm sorry. I can't deal with it. I don't
even have time for thicken or lack-eye words. I don't even have time for lack-eye words. I don't have the energy for lack-eye words. I'm just going to stay on.
Oh, my God.
We're going to go to Darren in New York. Darren, what's up, man?
Hey, guys. First time, long time. Love you guys on YouTube. You guys do excellent work. But
yeah, our YouTube channel's off the rails lately.
Hey, man, I still enjoy it. Maybe the old stuff's good, man. Hey, I got to say one thing,
thank you so much for watching as well.
Friggin' Adam Gase. I'm telling you, his new name is Adam Fugazi. This guy, he don't know his butt from a hole in the ground. Honest to goodness. I mean, in honor of trick-or-treating coming up of Halloween, it feels like as a Jet fan, we go up to the door, waiting for these treats to come our way, and the next thing you know, Adam Gase drops a friggin' flaming pile of poo right in our bag. I mean, I don't get it. You can't block? You can't block?
It's not good.
You got 6 guys coming. You got 6 guys blocking, 4. Math's there.
Yep.
The head's not, though. I don't get it.
Dude, you see it every week now where it's like they have 3 guys, 4 guys. It's 3 on 5, 4 on 5, 4 on 6, and the Jets line cannot block them. It's mind-blowing. You see Josh Allen, and it's like these aren't like surprise guys. These are like legitimate pass rushers coming in untouched. It's mind-blowing. It's just like you just can't fathom it happening.
They're New York turnstile. They're simply say, hey, give me a token, and away you go. Our quarterback's right there to the left. I mean, I don't get it.
It's amazing, man. It's really amazing. I've never seen nothing like it before ever in my life.
And then Loggins, I mean, he's just a bump on a log over there. He's got to go back to King of Queens. I mean, he's just. I mean, my gosh. He's a freaking Oompa Loompa over there while he's trying to watch Willy Wonka run our offense. I don't get it.
I want to thank you for calling in. Listen, Loggins is a glorified clipboard holder, and I talked about him when we first hired Gase.
And that's a promotion.
That guy does nothing. Yeah, that guy does nothing. He does nothing. He's just another Adam Gase yes man. But what blows my mind, you talk about Sam Darnold getting hit. I just don't understand what we're doing with Le'Veon Bell. I mean, the fact that we're only giving this guy 9 carries against the Jaguars, I mean, did that surprise you?
Oh, my gosh, yes. I mean, he's the best running back. He's the best catching running back out of the backfield. Throw a screen. Split him out wide with Ty Montgomery. You got Bilal Powell. I mean, you got 3 good running backs. Utilize them. It's not rocket science. My gosh.
No, what are your thoughts on Joe Douglas?
I want to like him. That's where I'm at. I want to like him. The Coleccio Assembly thing, it turned me off a little bit. I think he redeemed himself a little bit today, but he should have talked to Jamal when he talked to Bell and he talked to Robbie. He dropped the ball there. I mean, I got to have hope because that's all I got right now because I don't got a team to watch.
No, that's true. Darren, thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it. And Joe, the other thing we got to talk about, too, I mean, we're talking about the game plan. We've pretty much ripped everything to shreds is why are they featuring Demaryius Thomas? Can somebody explain this to me? Of all the weapons on the field, that is Sam Darnold's go-to guy now all of a sudden? Can you tell me why?
I want to thank the last caller for calling in. That makes completely no sense. But we've been talking about that for quite some time now. We've been talking about how all of a sudden we're featuring old-ass Demaryius Thomas like he's in his prime for quite a little bit of time. It's completely ridiculous. It's completely mismanaging the roster. That is something that he's doing. I don't.
They were getting Ryan Griffin involved. It's like they have a glimmer. Like Ryan Griffin gets the touchdown. Like, all right, he's a weapon. They're trying to get Ty Montgomery involved. Then they go completely away from all of that and they go Demaryius Thomas. It's like and they feature him. It's like 4 plays in a row. It's like he was the number 1 option 4 plays in a row. Like Demaryius Thomas. That's what we're doing now.
I have no clue. Yeah, I mean, you would think that this was like, 2014 or something. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand why he's doing this with Demaryius Thomas. He's running some of the same screens that we've seen in the past. That's why they're getting sniffed out to Demaryius. Like you said, he's featuring, trying to get him down the ball, down deep in the middle. I don't understand what is happening with this offense. But, again, that is Adam Gase. That's what he does. A lot of his decisions make completely no sense.
Yeah, so we'll go back to the calls. We apologize for the crazy long hold times. We had so many calls tonight. We still have a lot. We're on Instagram and Twitter @TalkJetsRadio, and we're on YouTube. Let's Talk Jets Radio, where I think people are starting to see the ones we've been posting because I just went off the rails. So enjoy those. Leave us feedback, comments. We will try to interact with everybody the best we can. But we're going to go, I guess it's Wynn in Connecticut. I hope I said that right.
Yep, Wynn in Connecticut. What's going on, guys? First-time caller.
Man?
Good. First-time caller. Been listening to you guys for like 1.5 years, 2 years, so finally got the opportunity to call in, so wanted to do that now. I got on Joe a little bit today or yesterday. It might have been for charging people for hugs, and so that was pretty good.
Oh, come on, man. That's a big lie.
That's the truth, lie. Man. That's the truth. Power.
You already starting your first call off with a lie? That's not good. That's not good. You know what I'm saying? But I forgive you because I stand for the people, man. I want to hear your take, man.
My favorite call already.
Whatever. Let's get away from these lies that are being told about me because we all know the hugs is free. I want to get your thoughts about the Jets shopping Jamal Adams and not getting the trade done. And do you think that will cause turmoil in the locker room?
Well, let me say this about the free agent or about the trade deadline. I mean, you got Joe Douglas making a good trade the day before the trade deadline, right? He gets a third and a fifth, could become a third and a fourth for Leonard Williams, who really hasn't produced for us at all. And then the next day, you see these reports coming out about the Jets shopping Le'Veon Bell and the Jets taking calls for Jamal Adams. And, if you saw Jets Twitter, it was absolute chaos on Twitter. I mean, everyone was in an uproar. how can you trade our pieces away? This is ridiculous. And, they're going crazy and everything like that. And Robbie Anderson, he's going to be gone, and Lev Bell's going to be gone, and everyone's going nuts. And then they don't trade them. And then everyone says, oh, well, you were supposed to make that trade, and now it's the Jets, and their issue is, they were the almost trade makers and all that. So, really, you can't win on Twitter. You can't win on the New York media. And, I'm glad. I was upset that they were about to trade Le'Veon Bell. I was upset that they were about to trade Jamal Adams. I mean, these are our building blocks, right? These are pieces that we need. And Lev Bell has been nothing but a stand-up guy. He's been nothing but a great teammate. And you even saw after the trade deadline, nonsense that went on today, he went on Twitter, he posted a video, and he's like, listen, this is patience. You got to have patience. You got to wait. This is the first year with the coach and the first year with the GM, and, I'm here for the long haul, and I want to be on the Jets despite all this stuff that was going on and, all these rumors that were going on. I mean, he is all Jets all the time, and I love that. And listen, that's the name of the game. Listen, if you're 1-5 or 1-6 right now, you're halfway through the season, you're going to field calls for these players, whether or not you're going to trade them. And I get it. You don't want to have to field calls for someone like Jamal Adams, but you're the GM. If someone's going to call you and offer you a first and a second for Jamal Adams, you're going to take that call. You know what I mean?
But the whole thing is you take the calls, but you don't make it public knowledge where every friggin' media outlet knows it. That's the problem. The Jets have too many leaks in the organization.
Yeah, and I get that. But, I mean, Jamal Adams, right, post-game press conference, I'm sick of losing. I'm not a loser. I don't come from losing. And then he goes to Twitter and he tweets. And don't let me preface this by saying I love Jamal Adams. He's one of my favorite players on the team. But then he goes on Twitter and God take the wheel or whatever the heck it was. And then afterwards he says, I didn't want to leave the team. Well, come on, man. Listen, they're going to field calls for you. If the Cowboys are going to call up and say, we want to give you a first and then some, they're going to take the call. So I get it.
The thing is, listen, Jamal is ridiculously frustrated, and he hates losing. He's a face of the franchise. He's a very proud guy. He's out and about trying to do his thing. And it's like, listen, like if the Jets want to take calls for him or whatever else, do it behind the scenes. Don't make it public knowledge. Because then for him, he's probably embarrassed like hell. Like, man, they're shopping me. Like, I'm not valuable. Like, he's got a lot of pride. He's a rising star. So I get it. Like, I completely understand it. And it's like, should he have went out and blasted, Jets ownership on Twitter? Probably not. But he probably just don't care anymore. He's like, you know what? I think he probably realizes they're going to ship him out. He realizes it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's probably true. I mean, we might lose him, in the offseason, maybe we'll trade him for the draft or something like that. And it's going to really suck.
He may even ask for a trade himself, dude. You know what? But to a guy like Jamal, who winning is so important to him, he'd be like, listen, I don't want to be part of this rebuild. Like, I don't want to be here with Coach Gase. He may just say that.
No.
Yeah, he might. And, the Jets' problem is a systemic problem. I mean, it all starts – you see all these great teams, right? Even teams that are mediocre but have amazing offensive line. It all starts at the offensive line. Listen, Gase has his shortcomings, right? The jury's still out on Joe Douglas. There's a lot of issues wrong with the Jets right now, but it all starts with the offensive line. I think the Jets have drafted like 2 offensive linemen in the draft the past 4 years, and one of them is Chuma Edoga. I saw a stat today that said Chuma Edoga has led up the most offensive line pressures, or the second most in the entire league of all the offensive linemen. I mean, that's crazy if you think about that. So it also you got to spend.
I hear what you're saying there, but I think again you have to look at what you're asking Chuma to do. Chuma is at best a project right tackle. You're asking this kid in his rookie year, who he drafted as a project right tackle, to play starting left tackle. That's crazy. Of course he's going to give up pressure. But again, why are we not talking about Adam Gase? Because you talk about his shortcomings. One of his shortcomings is if you see that and you're the offensive guru, shouldn't you be helping out your young left tackle? Shouldn't you be putting a running back out there on that side? Shouldn't you be putting a tight end to kind of help Chuma chip against a guy like Calais Campbell? Why are you leaving him on an island alone with Calais Campbell? Why are you leaving him on an island alone with Ndakwe? Why are you leaving him alone on an island with a pass rusher like Josh Allen, a young guy that gets after it that you know? These are guys that should immediately be on your radar if you're game planning for the Jags. And I mean, with all the other teams that we've seen, all the pass rushers. So, yes, Chuma, it may not be the best. He shouldn't be even out there. He shouldn't be our starting left tackle. But what are you doing as a head coach to help this team, to help this offense with the deficiencies with your game plan? Because you're not doing a damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. And the problem is there's not much they can acquire right now as far as offensive line goes. So what he can do is like, so I'm a season ticket holder. So I was at the Monday night debacle against the Pats, right? And as bad as everyone played in that game, you saw the offensive line, right? They're bringing the house on you, and you don't have a running back there. The running back's got to chip the lineman, and then he goes out for a short dump off. Or where are the flats? Or where are the crossing routes? They're running wide receiver streaks down the field, and they're expecting Sam Darnold to get 3 seconds? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what you can do is dial up some help if Chuma needs help, or maybe you put a running back out there. But you got to have those dump offs and crossings and flats and stuff like that to really help out Darnold. Streaks down the field or long passes or long posts, you cannot do that with this offensive line.
Yeah, you absolutely can. I don't understand what the game plan is with him, and we've seen the same thing consistently. When teams bring pressure, his game plan breaks down, and he can't make any type of adjustments at all to deal with the pressure whatsoever. And it's just we die offensively. Sam gets hit, and he just continues to fold throughout the rest of the game.
You have to spend real draft capital on offensive line. You have to do it, and you have to do it a lot.
No arguments here, man. I mean, look at the Jets' success in the past where they had DeBrickashaw and Mangold and all those guys, Brandon Moore. That's where it had to come from. So,
and they're all
taking
the round. First round, they took both of them.
I know. Yep. I know. Win, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
You got it.
All right, Joe, we'll stay with the very, very busy phones. This is probably the most calls we've ever taken on a show before, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go.
It's a lot.
Listen, people, it's a lot of, people want to talk. And I understand. I'm a fan. You're a fan. They're upset with the direction of this team, what's going on, not just what we're seeing on the field, but the stuff we're seeing off the field is completely ridiculous. So I want to thank the last caller for calling in because he brought a lot of great insight and knowledge.
I want to thank Primetime, too. Kevin Sirkin, who's I know is getting pounded on Twitter and dealing with all our calls and everything else. I want to thank him for all his help and everything else and his great videos on YouTube. I mean, our YouTube channel is just nuts right now. So we're going to go to our good friend Justin. Justin, what's up, man?
Oh, what's up, fellas?
How you doing, man?
Horrible. I mean, I just don't understand what is going on. Year after year, we think we're headed in the right direction, and something else hits. I don't even know anymore at this point.
Yeah, Justin, listen, I want to thank you for calling in, man. I don't understand what's going on out there, but for me, it's Adam Gase is really making this offense a lot worse than it should be. And especially with his play calling, the game planning, it's absolutely horrible. And I want to get your thoughts on this, man. What are your thoughts about the lack of adjustments out there?
I'm going to just say it right now. I get it. I just don't understand. I understand the continuity. Yeah, Darnold, another coach we don't want to bring. Let's just call it what it is. Adam Gase needs to be fired. I mean, the people that are still defending him, we need to give this guy a chance. He doesn't have the best offensive line, this, that, and the other. No, let's just call it what it is. Adam Gase has been terrible. I mean, it's like this guy is not – he's doing what Todd Bowles did. I mean, guys are not performing, and he's not benching them. The offense, I don't even know how to say this, has looked even worse than last year when we got Bell and guys like Crowder. I mean, I just don't understand what is going on with Coach Gase. I mean, I don't even think Coach Gase honestly gets through these next two games, tell you the truth, because if we lose to the Dolphins, the locker room is already in disarray. So, honestly, what is the point? You're going to give this guy power for what? He's already proven he can't handle it. So, I mean, Adam Gase needs to go. That's where we need to start.
No, listen, I have no arguments here, man. We both completely agree with you. What are your thoughts on the way Joe Douglas handled the trade deadline?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think we should just this is the problem. We do it half-assed. We should have just blew up the whole thing. I was thinking, all right, we're gonna do this thing right, correctly, but I mean, we started with Leonard Williams. I was thinking, all right, we got a third, fifth, can potentially be a fourth, whatever it was for Leonard Williams. Oh, all right, we're gonna do it. I was feeling good going into the trade deadline. Next thing you know, we started the day with, we're taking calls on Le'Veon. All right, that was what it was. We didn't trade him. We were just taking calls. I mean, he's doing his job, but I mean, let's just call it what it is. I mean, if Adam doesn't want to be a Jet, let's just get rid of the guy and just if he doesn't want to be a Jet, he doesn't want to be a Jet. I mean, he's already said he wants to be play at his hometown Dallas. He's already said that. So I mean, the guy's due for a contract extension in December. So I mean, is he going to be around anyway? I don't know.
Probably not.
So I mean, let's just try to get something for him. I think we should ship him out. If he doesn't want to be a part of it, then you know what? Adios, because it's just going to get worse.
No, I mean, I just have this funny feeling this is going to end. This is going to end poorly with Jamal Adams. I think it's just going to get worse. I mean, now it's like it's a media thing. It's going to become a distraction and a he said, she said kind of deal. And you just have this feeling he's going to be gone. Like it didn't happen today. It's going to probably happen in March. It's crazy. I never thought we'd be at this point right now. I never ever thought we'd be here.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy too because. I mean, Joe Douglas, people are trying to praise Joe Douglas, but honestly, let's call it what it is. I mean, he should have took that fourth rounder from Green Bay or whatever they were offering and moved on from him too, because now what? Now we're going to go try to get a new coach with Joe Douglas, say he picks the new coach and Gates gets fired. Now you want to pay a guy like Robbie? How much you paying a guy that's already proven he's not a number one receiver? So, I mean, you're not going to pay the guy anyway unless you get him on a cheap deal. So, I mean, the problems are just endless with this team.
Justin, thanks for calling him, man. Great call. You know, Joe, and he's right. This is like the reason why, I know I'm gonna get a lot of feedback for being so negative, but the reason why is because we've seen this before. Like, you know what's gonna happen if they're trying to trade Robbie now or exploring things now. Chances are either he wants too much money or they don't want to pay him. So don't get used to seeing him next year. So you're going to see him for the rest of this year and see what happens. Same thing with Jamal, same thing with Le'Veon, so all these guys. You just know what's going to happen. It's like the writing's now on the wall with this. And it is what it is. And it's your biggest problem, we said it for almost 3 hours now, is that this is going to be a true rebuild. They're going to gut the hell out of this team, which, okay, it's obviously necessary. But the decision makers that are doing it, which is primarily going to be Adam Gase, who has way too much power, is going to be the problem.
Yeah.
You're handing over your organization to him. It's just it's sickening. Joe, I never ever in my life, I never root for losses. I hate losing. Even in tank years, I had a hard time accepting losses. To be honest with you, a part of me wants to lose to the Dolphins and Giants just so Adam Gase gets fired. I'm willing to take two losses to expedite this process. And if it doesn't happen, then we have a bigger problem.
Yeah, and I want to thank Justin for calling in. It was great to talk to him. But honestly, everybody keeps saying that. I'm telling you now, I don't think he'll get fired even if we lose those two games. I really don't. Because what would be the difference from what we've seen? We've seen this team look completely unprepared pretty much all season outside of that Cowboys game. We've seen them come out and just be lost. Start flat, not know what's going on. We've seen him just completely mishandle the quarterback situation already with Falk not giving him reps, all this stuff. We've seen it. He should have been fired. He should have been fired after this game. We've seen him completely get dismantled against the Patriots, and he was brought in here to beat them. That's literally one of the sticking points for him. Completely dismantled in both games. Wasn't even close. It could have been worse if they felt like it. Then you get your doors beat in again by the Jags and come out and look the same way. I think even if we lose two more games, it won't matter. I think that I think that he's going to be in charge of the rebuild. If that's where they're going to take it in the offseason, he's going to be the guy that's going to be in charge of it. And you know what's crazy? He has a horrible track record of rebuild. He has a horrible track record of rebuilding teams because he completely destroyed Miami. Completely did. And he had full control of that too. Unbelievable.
Yep.
We're
gonna go to James.
We're a piss poor managed franchise. Terrible.
James, what's up, man?
Guys, I wish I could say better things better times, but the Jets are a complete joke right now. Obviously, I mean, guys, I've been a fan for 20 years. I don't know if I'm gonna show the Jets this bad. For the first few weeks of the season, nobody's seen this coming. I didn't see this coming. I don't think anyone predicted it to be this bad. And everyone's been making excellent points. I love this team. I love Jet Nation and stuff. But the Johnsons and, their delusions, it's just out of control. Adam Gase, you're looking at a guy who just has too much power. What I'm scared, guys, is that him and Joe Douglas are selling, the Johnsons. Oh, you know what? Kyle Shanahan had a bad year in San Francisco. Let us pick our players, our team, and we'll get a pick, which is complete nonsense. Because eventually you have to go out there with what you have and progress and make something. Every year, go down swinging. If you're going to lose, lose going down swinging. Don't just sit there, confused, lost, you don't know what the hell you're doing. Communication problems with offensive line.
Yeah, James, we gotta let you go, man. We gotta let him go, man. I couldn't hear a word he was saying. His phone completely broke up.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Just Jets. Just Jets, what's up, man?
Hey guys, how you doing? Oh man, team's an absolute joke. It's just disgraceful.
It's bad, man. It's bad. This is as bad as it gets, man. This could be close to rock bottom for this organization.
To be quite honest, I don't think this team has a bottom. They're bottomless. Every time you think this team has reached rock bottom, they show you something else. I'm serious. This team doesn't have a bottom. And again, there's not a team that they can't beat any team in this league. I'm telling you, they are one of the worst teams in the league. It's absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, and I want to thank you for calling in. Look, I understand why you're upset. I mean, when you look at the way that we're playing out there, it is horrible. And a lot of people are talking about the players and the lack of talent, but a lot of people are not talking about Gase and his impact in this situation. But when you look at this today with the trade rumors and we're swirling all around, and now guys talk about trading Le'Veon, they're talking about trading Jamal Adams. I mean, what are your thoughts about that, man? And do you think that the fact that those guys weren't traded could start causing a toxic issue with guys that are in the locker room that are looking like, man, you're trading away some of our best players?
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, you saw what Jamal Adams did on Twitter. I called out the GM because he said exactly he wanted to stay and be a New York Jet, and the GM went behind his back and fielded offers from other teams. And you look at a guy like Le'Veon Bell, who's came in here and he's been a really big leader, and they wanted to just get rid of him. I mean, like I said, I think the Jets are just so desperate to, turn this thing around that they will literally give up their best players just to hit the reset button and try to get some sort of build for the future. I think because they realize that they can't win this season, so they're trying to build for the future. At the same time, they're taking weapons away from essentially Sam Darnold and his entire team. I mean, Jamal Adams is arguably your best player on the team. And yeah, I was really, really nervous. He could have been dealt.
Yeah, it's weird. And it's you got to figure when they come across this rebuilding plan, whatever it is, it has to go past Chris Johnson. So at some point they'll be, hey, listen, part of our plan is going to be to trade Bell and trade Jamal and do this and do that. What? They're buying time for their plan. They're finding excuses for their losses. They're justifying losses. It's insane, man. I just don't know. Chris Johnson's not getting a return on his investment, and I don't know how he's okay with it. I truly do not know how.
Well, I've been saying the Johnsons, they got to go. They are the problem. If you look at it,
yeah, but they're not going to though.
I know, but it's top down. I mean, but that's the thing. The Johnsons should do the Jet fans a favor and sell this team, because if you look at the common denominator, all the years that we've been losing, we've had different head coaches, we had different players, we had different GMs. What's been the common theme? The owner. And it's no secret that when you look across the NFL, the best teams have the best owners. The Giants with Mara, the Kraft, the guy in Green Bay. I mean, these teams have good owners. That's where it all starts. And that's unfortunately they are the owners, but that's why that's where this toxicity starts at the very, very top.
Well, it's not even. But listen, it's owners, but it's also the proper reporting structure. It's a quality front office. It's the right rule of authority, where it's like the general manager has power over the coach. And like the whole, everything. The whole
hierarchy
setup
is
has
terrible.
to be different. Yeah,
the hierarchy is awful. The hierarchy is awful.
This team's just a mess, man. It's exhausting. Man, thanks for calling in, dude. We got to wrap things up here. Give out your information.
Sure, thank you. So you can follow me at Just Jets, and my Instagram is at official Just Jets. I'm gonna be putting out brand new content, and I'm gonna keep this thing rolling whether we win or lose. So let's go Jets. Thanks for having me on, guys.
No problem. Have a good night, man. All right, Joe. As we wrap things up here, we covered a lot tonight. That was definitely a lot. So this is tough, man. This is truly tough times. This organization.
Yeah.
I'm sure will be. I'm sure the Jets are not happy with this show we put on tonight, but I really don't care. What are you gonna do? I mean,
and I don't give two dams.
Yeah,
I don't
this
give a
is
damn
bad.
or
This
a damn
is really bad.
plus another damn.
Yeah, this is as bad as it gets. It's next to impossible to be excited about this team, want to spend a penny on this team, want to do anything. It's disgusting. So as we wrap things up, first of all, we want to thank all the great callers. I know we missed a few that we didn't get on. We apologize for that. Tonight was very difficult to get everybody on and get like any kind of conversation going. So Instagram and Twitter at Talk Jets Radio. We want to thank Kevin a ton. And YouTube. Have some fun with our YouTube stuff. Let's Talk Jets Radio there. And Joe, 3 hours in the books. Yeah, you know me, dude. I'm unleashed. I'm just getting started now. This is personal now. You stay tuned, man. I am completely off the rails now. Done.
Oh man. Oh boy. That's gonna be completely nuts. I've already heard about it.
No idea.
I've seen a bit of it, and you were losing it, dude. I can tell you're really gonna like that YouTube stuff.
But I gave a warning though. I gave a warning in the last video though. I gave a little warning to the. That's okay, man. You know what I mean? At least I warned people now.
Man. Yeah, I guess that's I guess your warnings now. Is, if you don't turn it off, you got to deal with what you got to deal with, huh? That's just how you roll. Just drop your bombs and keep it moving, huh? Wow.
All right, man, your time to shine.
Oh, there. Listen, I am the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote our Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search Let's Talk Jets Radio. Like that page, our content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message us. We'll message you right back. We love going back and forth to folks about this football team. Also, leave us some feedback. We love hearing about what you folks think we do here on Let's Talk Jets Radio. I'm also on Twitter as well at YoungJ000. That's 3 zeros. Go ahead and follow me. I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me? No issues. I'm the troll that lives under the bridge. I will troll you right back. No issues, and I will have my Darnold jersey on. I'm hoping he stays healthy the rest of the season. But, it is what it is, all right? So I'm also on YouTube as well at YoungJ00. That's 2 zeros on YouTube, 3 on Twitter. I do videos about the Jets. I'll continue to talk about them throughout the season and well into the offseason as well, depending on where it goes. And I also talk about other teams as well. I do a weekly pick-em on my channel. So go ahead and subscribe to my content on there as well. If you message me, I'll message you right back. You want to troll me on there as well? No issues. I'll troll you right back on there too. And as always, people, when you see me in person, okay, it is arms out, chest open, free touch. Man, I'm going to have Adam Gase trade your ass too. We got to get you out of here with this hating. You constantly lying on me left and right. These hugs is free, man. You got people even calling in. Come on, man. No, I'm about that legacy, okay? You about that money. The money is clearly mandatory for you, all right? I'm about legacy. You're about the money is mandatory, okay? Look, I'm done with all this stuff. When you see me in person, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone, okay? Hugs are absolutely free. They'll cost you absolutely nothing. Do not listen to Roush. The hugs will remain free, okay? I want to thank you folks for listening. Without you people, we're absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to call in and listen to the show. You folks are the absolute best. And again, folks, listen, breast cancer awareness, we're still pushing it. Look, the Essex County Sisters Network chapter, get involved any way you can. The links are all over our social media. Donate, go over there and volunteer if you can. And again, get yourself checked, get yourself examined. Early detection is key. Males that listen to the show, men, listen. breast cancer, just not something that affects women. It also affects you as well. Go get yourself checked, okay? Again, early detection is key.
Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll be back talking Jets-Dolphins. Well, that's going to be a real scintillating show on Friday night. Can't wait to preview that. Toilet bowl. 8 o'clock Friday night. Enjoy.